Welcome to Dave's Drama Diner, number 72. And I obviously am on the mend. Welcome so much. As always, let's start our show off by showing our gratitude and appreciation for all those who've chosen to spend their time with us here today. And I swear to God, my voice sounded a lot better. Do have some cough drops here as well. But yeah, it did certainly sound better before I started this intro. So I don't know, maybe the tea's wearing off. But yes, let's go and see that we have the first in the chat, Will Tactics. It's the Costanza, Ronald Booth. Who else do we got here? Latino Heat. Derailed News and Podcast. Be sure to check them out tonight at 9 p.m., I believe. Extreme Shaft. Penny the Pooh. Jay Diz. Bry Guy. It's Steve Callan. Rushin Chu. Ghost of Tommy's Barber. JR4 the Third. And I'm sure many more will be filtering in as well. So I appreciate you joining us here today. I appreciate you also, again, having patience with my recovering voice. The whiskey did help yesterday, whiskey and cider. But, warm up the cider, put a little whiskey in there, and, does good. But a lot has happened, actually. Shout out to Chili Cheese Jay in the chat. Over literally the past 4 or 5 days. And it's become even overwhelming to me. Just the amount of content that's come out, things that have been said that need to be reviewed, and yet, I've always been able to stay on top of this, and sometimes just put out so much commentary that it takes people days to catch up. But it's gotten to the point where I've not been able to catch up. There's been so much that's been said, and it's very comical and hilarious. And Ken and YR have both been doing amazing jobs when it comes to covering this stuff. Ken did a video basically Saturday morning, I guess, after the end of Friday Night Fire. And that was 2 hours, 45 minutes, a really, really good video. Very good analysis by Ken on several different things. Yeah, it was just, a lot of details discussed, and just overall a really good video, really good analysis, commentary. YR did the same thing. I think it was possibly Thursday or maybe Friday. Bolsey's been covering a lot of stuff too, doing great jobs, especially at triggering Tony. What else? I did, that now infamous stream where apparently, according to some, I wasn't hard enough on Cronin. And we'll address that. There's much to address. Ken did a great job covering, what was it? The SEMO thing, because SEMO released a few videos. Even one called, So the Drama Diner is Closed or something like that. YR did a great job reviewing my show, where Joe and Drew were basically having their discussion and stuff, and there was quite a lot. And you know what, I didn't really, because this is a Mélange, there really is no proper starting, because you can go, like what side of the cheese ball do you start with first? It's all the same. So, let's do a few things here. So, I want to play this. Let's start off with this. Okay, it's 14 minutes long. Joe made this unlisted on Drama God on January 31st, and I just do find it very interesting. Hold on a sec. Gotta open that. Hold on. I don't know if this is it. Nope. Try that again. I had the tab open a second ago. Okay. Take 2. I'm going to add this into the browser option here. So if you just bear with me. God damn it. Let's try that once more. Okay. All right. So we're just going to do a... Yep, there we go. Nope. There we go. There we go. All right, so I'm going to play it for you guys.
What? Like what? I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know what you'd be debating about race in America. I guess I don't know what the debate's about. I don't know where the parties stand and what the debate's about, really.
So he created this unlisted and then 3-4 days later came on to my show.
Really, I guess I don't get it.
Wesley, 1.25 times speed. Engage.
What are you debating about?
The cause of the disproportionate number of crimes that are committed by those that are considered people of color under the current U.S. system, and why
are we debating it though? Isn't there a clear number on the stats?
Well, no. Why? Because the culmination that resulted in the call for the debate and discussion was because you act in such a way that even an intelligent individual like me has to question whether or not you actually feel white guilt or you're just trying to pander to some very, very disgusting individuals in your audience who are, apart from being people of color, whatever the fuck you want to call them, absolutely racist and anti-white. And as such, your defense of them seems to be sort of like agreeing.
What example? What is my defense of them? What did I say to defend them against whites?
Well, you'll say white people are the worst ever. Or you'll say, look, we've gone through this so many times.
It's just a joke, man. Meanwhile, that rhetoric has literally led to fucking people getting killed.
I don't have to continue to remind everyone of all these different things that you've said and how you've sort of defended certain views.
Again, I asked the reason why this was made. I mean, I would have thought that he would have had this ready some time ago. And, you know, it's January 31st, which was only last week. And it's just like, well, what's the purpose of this? Is like some sort of hidden, weapon, secret weapon that, you can use against me when all these clips are out on the internet?
Viewers of yours that were against me because I said things that, incensed them because it was on race. Like that, what's that kid's name? Cameron Mitchell?
Yep, he's a racist bastard.
That kid who literally looks like, was it Kid and Play? Or one of those, Kid. I guess it was Kid with the long hair, the big hair. That guy, he hates me and he's fucking anti-white. And there's been many times where you've addressed...
What does that have to do with the crime statistics?
Look, the bottom line is that you give blacks and Hispanics a pass when it comes to all the disproportionate crime that they commit, and you excuse it as the fault of white people, because white people are so racist. Minorities are going to commit crimes.
When have I ever done that?
Oh my God, so many times, dude. I wouldn't make a big deal about this, dude. This has been going on for years. I wouldn't be making a big deal about it if there wasn't something to this. And
exactly, it's the crux. It's like, I'm surprised that more people don't see this. Like, what would it be accomplished? Give your ideas in the chat. But what would actually be accomplished if Dave was able to? Because I'd win the debate, right? But okay, what would exactly culminate and result from that?
Dude, I'm not the only one saying this, though. This has been agreed upon and seen by multiple.
I can't tell people how to think or what the end conclusion is. Like that's not how you do fucking. Proper discussion and stuff. It's like peer review. It's like, okay, well, this is the evidence that I'm providing. I've got my conclusion, but you're going to have to see whether or not, you can see this data yourself and come to your own conclusion. And if it matches mine or if it's different. Now, if it's different, well, that's the purpose of the peer review. You go back, do research, discussion, exchange of information.
Multiple people, multiple times.
Crazy, brother. You sound crazy, brother.
You can continue to say that, but even back in the drama club days, you had Mars, Davey, Scott, YR, me, even Jesse agreeing to this. And there's
Nobody
other
agreed to
people that have agreed to
Nobody
this. So,
agreed to it, bro.
but again,
Nobody agreed
what's
to
so
it.
difficult then to debate this? Do you want to
And
explain?
this is at least a year old, I think. At least.
Maybe
What are we debating, though?
your
What are we
take on?
debating? I don't
Okay, well, the
understand.
debate would be let's discuss
I think this may have been in 2019.
crime statistics and
No,
what
no,
are the
no, no. It wasn't 2019. It had to have been in 2020 at some point, or maybe 2021. Okay, so the last time I worked with him was it 2020 November? So this probably was in either late 2020 or early 2001. I get it. 2021.
causes of these crimes. Then you would be forced to confront, very harsh truths that you don't want to admit. The fact is, whites are 27 times more likely to be attacked by a black than vice versa. Explain that, Joe. No, it's because white people are racist. No, see, you just gloss over this stuff and
You're just talking
excuse.
over me now. You're just talking over me, dude. You're just saying this stuff and talking over me. It doesn't make it.
Okay, so you know what's hilarious is that just like you saw with the what was it? The episode 5 of Insomniac, where he calls in, he's like, "Is Dave Rose here?" So I respond normally, and and he's still saying, "Well, you'll let me talk." It's like, but he asked a question, you respond, and he's like, You're just talking over people, letting people talk." It's like, did you want an answer for this, or did you just want to hear your own voice?
Any sense? Like, I've never debated these statistics at all.
Well, you actually sort of put your supposed stance in doubt when you have this rhetoric, crackers, whiteys, and again, white people are the worst race ever, blah, blah, blah. These are words that came out of your mouth.
Well,
I've never said anything close to any other fucking group. Yeah, do I like to fucking go at Jacob and SE Steve? Yes. But, I mean, like, there's a big difference between what you're proposing and what I've done with them. Because it hits hard with them, and, I still know the culture, and, I'm part of it and stuff. So it's just, it's a Latino thing. I can't expect you to understand there, Joe, but let's continue.
To bring them up with you, and you've again dismissed.
Because really, if you really knew Latino culture, you'd know that there's a lot of, ethnic Latinos from different countries that don't like each other at all. And there's there's stereotypes from each country of other Latinos, and, don't get me started on how crazy they get with their soccer teams and such. So
Them like that. So
What do you mean dismiss them? Like, what? I don't ever remember being like, those aren't true. I never said that. I think you got me confused with somebody else.
no,
look how it tries to deflect. Again, I don't understand what the purpose is. Like, again, the question I'm asking is, what is the purpose of, first of all, making this video and making it unlisted? And on top of that, this date, the date that's so recent.
no,
Was he planning something? Was this sort of like what people saw with the clip where he's like, "Oh, fake, fake, fake"? Well, listen to this clip of Ken call Drew fake. Just the timing seems a little weird.
it's not that it's not true. Is that you're basically misassessing the blame. You're ignoring the fact that you're doing certain things that appear.
And if you think that Joe can't go low, just wait. We're not done yet. This clip.
Very clearly to be pandering to certain groups, and then you essentially just pass it off as if it was like, oh, Dave Rose is just being crazy. Come on, man. Like, look, knowing how intelligent I am, how can you even say that this is ludicrous?
Okay, so now, and I want to make sure that it is showing it. It should be, but again, I've encountered some challenges showing the browser. But I want to make sure that it's showing the screen images that he's showing right now. See, I don't know if I switch the tab, if it goes back to the other stuff. Sorry, people. Is it showing it yet?
When I've been saying this for years, been wanting to debate you on this, there's got to be a reason, behind that. What do you?
Let me just check. Sorry, people. I don't know why it's fucking around. Can you guys hear it? Oh. You. Hold on. Making it on. We're not done yet. I want to make sure that.
I think you got me confused with somebody else.
No.
Okay. God damn it, Dave. God damn it. You fucking son of a bitch.
Okay, what do you think? Do you think
What are
maybe
we gonna debate
I
on?
don't even know what you might be thinking.
Okay,
There's got to be,
this.
and then you
This is
essentially
when he starts
just
to play the,
pass it off as if it was like, oh, Dave Rose is just being crazy. Come on, man. Like, look, knowing how intelligent I am, how can you even say that this is ludicrous when I've been saying this for years, been wanting to debate you on this? There's got to be a reason, behind that. What do you think? Do you think
What are
maybe
we gonna debate
I
on?
don't even know what you might be thinking.
If we agreed on the stats, what are we going to debate on?
The reasons behind disproportionate.
Look at the dates on this. 2020. Liberals are the most violent of anyone in the U.S. at the moment. I've been Mr. Consistent since 2014. Yeah, I started working, I guess, sort of professionally with you in 2015, and then became the staple at 2016. So I'd always said the same thing. You and your wife were the one calling me the far-right extremist and crazy conspiracy theorist and all this sort of thing. And I was saying this stuff. So just because you're behind the curve on this doesn't mean you get to now, change your opinion and say, "Oh, it was always like this. I was always this type of person." And the stuff that Dave Rose has been saying consistently for 4 or 5 years now, no, it's just ludicrous. It has no bearing whatsoever. We should ignore it altogether.
Crime committed by blacks and Hispanics.
What's the reason? I don't even know where to begin on that. I don't know what.
Because you've defended criminals
What did I
that
say to
committed
defend
hate
it?
crimes and said,
What
no,
did I
white
You did multiple times.
people are literally the worst race ever. You've said this, dude. You've said
Imagine a white person saying that about black people. Just imagine, especially if they're a YouTuber and they have a varied demographic that watches them. Imagine the fucking outrage, especially nowadays.
white people are the
Who was
worst
I
race in
defending?
history.
And who was I defending?
You had black people or brown people, whatever, fucking, saying things either on calls or on chats, and you're like, you're right, dude. Even in fucking tweets and stuff, you're like, you're right, dude. White people are the worst ever and
Yeah, Joe, show the older tweets.
stuff. And it's just like,
Oh, your account got busted, so we can't see that now, can we? I might have some. Actually, I probably do have some fucking screenshots of this stuff.
dude, either you're pandering or you really hate your own fucking race, and I really don't know which one it is.
What specific instance did I say to somebody, "Oh, white people are the worst ever"? To somebody to admit
We're
to them
talking to a
that
black caller. It wasn't Stacy. This dude, it's happened. We've already gone through this. That we know that my memory is really good. If you really want me to dig deep into my files, I can. But the thing is, though, I know this as a fact. Many other people have witnessed it. Okay, so why do we keep trying to say, oh well,
Again, look at the date, 2021. Dave didn't just wake up one day and say, "I'm going to demand a race debate from Joe." Just out of the blue. It's been going on for quite some time now. And even when I was working with him, I made the issues of that very clear. Mr. Consistent. So he likes to show recent tweets. And you're so smart. It's all part of the plan.
I want you to give me a notified, notarized fucking document that indicates I did it on this date. Dude,
this
you've
doesn't
done it.
like me
You showed this screen already.
making a joke about the white race, which for some reason only when I joke about the white race you get angry. I can joke
No,
about everything else, but I joke about the white race and you get angry and upset.
I said this
That's so false.
before. Look at my challenge videos. You
Oh,
did.
August 20th, 2021. June 3rd, 2021. Where were these sentiments, say, in 2016, 2015?
Disproportionately narrow out white people, then do the exact same thing to everybody.
If you get really triggered over white people, I think you're a Nazi.
Oh, falling back to the liberal trap again. He's the one who's putting up, oh, liberals are the craziest, whatever. It's like, but that's what they do, is that they want to shut down conversations. So they say, what is the worst thing that we've been told exists? It's a Nazi. So you're a Nazi, you're a Nazi, everyone's a Nazi. A black guy who's conservative, you're a Nazi too, and a white supremacist. I mean, we've seen this before. We've seen black people get called white supremacists just because they have conservative views.
Okay, fine. If that's what you want to think of me, that would show your limited intellectual ability. But again, I'm not offended if someone calls me anything.
Why do you get so triggered over just like saying jokes on the show? Why do you get so triggered?
No. Because
look how he keeps just circling back,
saying that white people are the worst race in history.
And he's not started yet. He's going to get worse. Again, I questioned the release date of this and why it's unlisted. What was the purpose? What was the reasoning? What was the intent?
History is not a joke, dude. Especially when you're basically trying to justify that when somebody just said, like, for example, when those two white guys who legally have the right because the cops asked them to pursue anyone in their neighborhood, the fucking jogger decides to run up somebody who has a shotgun because he's a stupid fucking jogger.
Where's yours? No, I never seen nigger.
Okay, so now he's just stopped that clip, the previous one where I explained, and those guys, the Audrey case, I believe that was his last name, they got life in prison. I think it's despicable. They shouldn't have gotten that. But it was a stupid entire situation that was basically caused by the city and the police's inability to police their own neighborhood. So they hired these guys and, shit went bad and it shouldn't have gone that way. But the guy was an idiot to fucking run into a guy with a shotgun. But the intent wasn't to kill him because all they would have done is just use the car as cover, aimed the shotgun and fired. No, they actually, try to keep distance. And he's the one that closed that distance. Regardless of the issues, what we have here is Joe literally stopping the clip and now replacing it with that call where, because Joe, for years, although he doesn't want to, obviously he's trying to admit it by doing this, but for years he didn't want to discuss this, debate it, dismissed it sort of thing. So what does he do? He gets his buddy, his black buddy, TJ, to call in and to confront me because Joe could never do that and win an actual discussion, a debate, I should say. And, you've got the belligerency of someone who clearly isn't mentally fit enough to debate somebody like me. And because there's really no point in debating somebody who's already mentally lost, let's give the people what they want. Let's give them a nice visceral reaction and prove Dave Rose correct. That literally the pen is mightier than the sword. That's simple words that I don't even use, but you want me to put, you want to put me in that sort of situation? You've just entered the experiment. You don't realize that you're in a laboratory right now. And I'm conducting this experiment. And I've already, come to my thesis, and this will be the proof of it. But it seems that people allow their emotions to take control of them.
Why does he do that?
I guarantee you, I would beat the living shit out of you.
Well, how about this, nigger?
Oh, no. What the fuck, bro?
He gets shot and he dies.
Again, the question is so he's interspersing these clips now. Interesting. He's moved to a new one.
These white people are bad. They were just out hunting joggers. No.
This is the one we were just listening to. So he had to split it in. Oh, I see what you're doing. Okay. I see what you're doing. Trying to use that clip to sort of carry a certain narrative. Clever girl. Clever girl.
What?
This guy died and he deserved to fucking die. Just like George Floyd, just like all these other people. You instantly, always come out and jump out.
You know also deserve to die? George Bush Sr., fucking war criminal.
And say, well, this has to be some sort of hate crime, like, oh, Black Lives Matter. Like
Robert McNamara, also war criminal. John McCain, another war criminal.
Like this poor person, always.
Oh, they're all white, by the way, Joe.
And yet it comes down to no, they were fucking thug criminal piece of shit.
You just made that up. You just made that up.
Like,
you just made.
How can he say that? You just made that up. This is what children say. Is this what this sounds very much like another person from Boston, and it just seems to be that because you state it to be fact, oh, you just made it up. You don't have to back up that statement. No, you just made it up.
Get that up, dude. You just made that up.
No,
You just
I
made
didn't.
that up.
I didn't.
You just made that up.
Just
I've
like
never
all
said
these
that.
things that you say that
No,
I make up that I
that.
prove you wrong.
I never
did.
said that. I always
Yeah,
crap
you
on
did.
Black Lives
Multiple
Matter. No,
times.
always crap on Black Lives Matter. No,
Absolutely.
crap on
Yeah.
crap on BLM all the time. Crap on them all the time.
No, you don't. No, you don't. And in fact, you were the one who were trying to fucking deflect the situation. You're the one who said, "Oh, Dave Rose, he says that BLM is a terrorist group, so therefore Dave Rose must like the KKK." And I was like, "No, that's
Yeah, that lack of logic, that total fallacy there. It was just so pathetic. Like the number of times that I've been confronted with just very challenging situations when I was working with Joe, with these people and their inability to critically think was just, it always blew me away.
nothing to do with it."
Now I do accept the possibility that perhaps I just can't explain things properly. That's perfectly understandable. So might be that.
But you don't know crime.
No, it's not what I said.
Oh, you know stats, which means you don't know all the crime that BLM has actually caused.
That's not what I said, actually, Dave. What I said was you said that you were happy. This was like 5 years ago. You're talking about. You said you were happy. You were okay with whatever KKK does, whatever, and BLM does this. And I said they're at
What?
least both very similar. Like they're not fucking different.
No, they're not.
Like, you
No,
were
they're
getting
not.
upset. You were getting
See,
more
again,
upset.
you don't even have a historical context to understand that they're two totally different fucking
You're just
organizations.
making up- Dude, you just make
Separate motivations, separate missions. You know, they're literally two separate groups.
up hate for me. It's hilarious. You know, my wife.
And by saying so doesn't mean that they both haven't done bad. That's not even part. It's not. It's so obvious it doesn't need to be discussed. So that's where I'm coming from here. It's just like the lack of logic. Like we're bringing them up because obviously both of them have done bad things. Are we going to equate them the same? We can't, because their origin wasn't the same. Their funding wasn't the same. The purpose wasn't the same. The people involved weren't the same. Like it's just so ludicrous when it comes to dealing with people like Joe. And first of all, a guy who's constantly saying on Twitter, "Oh, I should be president," you know, he's fucking clueless, and yet he wants to dictate to others.
I just
My
think
wife thinks I
you're
hate
an
BLM.
idiot.
My wife thinks I hate BLM, but you think I love them. I'm like, somebody's got to be wrong
Dude,
here.
you're a habitual fence sitter who can't even make a fucking.
That's right. And I think I might have been the one who coined that term, but regardless, it belongs to you, the people of the community. Habitual fence sitter.
Decision. Why don't you fucking stand up for
can't tell
once
the
in your life
difference.
and fucking
You
say
can't tell the
this
difference
is
between
wrong,
Jews,
huh?
bro. You can't tell the
Because you
difference.
gotta be fucking sucking liberal cock all the time. You gotta be playing the field. That's why I think you
No.
probably are more pandering to the
You don't have
POCs
facts.
than
You
you
just
are
have
fucking white guilt.
You
Because
just
it's
have
more
speculation.
profitable.
You just speculate about stuff and you bulldoze
Come
over
on.
things.
I'm the only one right now on this call of 5 people who's actually speaking out. But I can
It's clearly on Wire's stream with that bell.
guarantee you every single fucking one of them has agreed with me.
Oh, actually, that reminds me. People. People were saying, "Oh, well, Dave didn't go harsh on Joe the other day when he was on his show." Now, this has been going on for years, obviously, and this clip that I'm playing right now isn't the first time that I've gone hard on him. So you can't really ignore the countless times, because it's countless times now, that I've gone hard on Joe in this manner that we're seeing here. And this is not even this hard. This is just being a little more aggressive and, holding him more so to account. But there's been times where I've had to raise my voice even low and even higher because he's just raging and, Skype's overwhelmed, can't hear me and stuff. But, this, again, I ask you people, examine the history up to this point, and you're going to look at one episode and say, "Oh, Dave Rose, he didn't go hard on him." It is also ludicrous. Let's continue.
Me in the past.
You can be a bunch of people wrong all in one group. That's fine. But you're totally fucking ridiculous right now.
Yeah, so basically, all the different co-hosts that left you, it's all their fault, not yours.
Yep. Listen to this.
Right? So when you have like literally pattern recognition like I did, and you see multiple people doing the same thing because they keep going in the same situation, no, it's their fault, not yours, right, Joe? Is that it?
What is this?
Man, I'm not the only one who displays that because Ken sees it, Drew sees it, JB sees it, I'm sure Tommy and Dead on Dave see it, and I'm sure many more as well.
What does it have to do with stats on race? I don't really understand.
Because I'm making an exact point of what you're fucking talking about.
This guy's a wily motherfucker. Wily motherfucker. And again, this is the shit I've had to deal with for years. So, criticizing me on that previous show, previous diner, which strangely enough is very similar to what happened to Ken, where he, was on a call with YR, berated and argued with Joe on a call, then got bombarded by people saying, oh, you didn't let him talk, oh, this and that, blah, 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 oh, that wasn't fair, blah, blah, blah. So the next time that occurred, he was, being cordial and stuff, and what happens then? Oh, he starts getting shit on. Whoops. He starts getting shit on for being too cordial. I just ask that people have some perspective here, look at the entire context and history, and I think that alone should convince you. But it's there for you to draw your own conclusions. I'm not going to tell you what conclusion to draw. I think it should be evident and obvious, but I'm just presenting it. Let's continue.
Is the fact that you're trying to say, well, all these people might have this opinion, but it's wrong. Well, guess what? When all these people have a certain opinion, say, of Joe Cronin, and all of them who are working very well with him as a host end up leaving, I don't think it's fucking them that's the problem, Joe.
Well, a lot of people, yeah, you're crazy. I get it. You're out of your goddamn mind.
I'm crazy, huh?
If you want to continue to try to say that, that's great. But guess what? First of all, I've never broken anything of mine in a rage. Okay, so if you want to talk crazy, there you go, bro. There's your official diagnostic of actual crazy.
Okay, bro.
Maybe crazy genius, like evil genius, like fucking Dr. Evil, I'll take that. But fucking actually losing it as an adult and smashing shit, dude, that's fucking pathetic.
Dude, yeah, wow, it was crazy. You loved it when it happened too, didn't you?
No, I do not believe in throwing out things that aren't broken, and I certainly don't believe in breaking things either. So unless it's somebody's psyche and sending them to rehab. But yeah, I don't believe in creating extra waste after all.
That's the thing, though. That is crazy. What I'm doing is not crazy. But you breaking shit in a fit, dude, that is mental illness. And that is the other word for crazy.
You
Crazy
haven't given me any example. You just say things. You just say things, dude.
You just say things, dude. But those things are true. I just say things that are true. So it's literally like dealing with a toddler. Literally. A very uneducated, poorly raised toddler, to be quite honest.
Things that are true, and it bothers you.
No, it doesn't, because you didn't say anything was true.
No, of course it does.
It didn't bother you enough to make this video with a little interspersal of the TJ conversation? It didn't bother you, and that's why you made this video, right?
It didn't.
Right.
I'm saying these things, and you're saying, oh, you just say these things. But I'm saying things that are factually correct. So by saying things that are factually correct,
you literally just made stuff up.
I literally just made stuff up.
I didn't make anything.
You agree on stats, so how can we disagree?
Should I bring up? Okay, you said the same thing I made up about your fight with me and Jesse, and I proved you wrong by showing those graphics. So
how are we gonna have an argument?
Yeah, I showed that graphic the other day, and yeah, that was just pages and pages of pages of that conversation where Jesse and I tried to confront him, and he freaked out, literally freaked the fuck out, and then told us he was going to ban us. That's very mature of you. Banning somebody that disagrees with you.
We agree on it. How are we gonna have an argument?
When we were supposedly working at that time together.
We agree on it. How are we gonna have an argument if we agree on it? How are we gonna have an argument if we agree on it? How are we going to have an argument if we agree on it?
Joe, I don't understand how even making this video makes you look good, but okay.
How are we
On
going to
the
have an
fucking
argument if we agree on it?
precipice of losing it all.
Ladies and gentlemen, a $100 donation gets Joe Cronin banned and booted off the fucking show. Donations are open. The link is in the chat. Back to the fucking fight.
Move over yourself and actually move on and become
What
better.
are you talking about, dude? What are you saying? I've been on a call.
What are you saying? What? Huh? What are you saying?
These guys for an hour earlier, everything was fine. You're the only one acting crazy.
No, but see, trying to say that I'm crazy again, the liberal mantra doesn't make it true.
$100.
Listen how fucking awesome I am here. And, you know, obviously you can hear, you know, that I'm perturbed, that it's dealing with a fucking retard here. But I'm not yelling. You know, I'm trying to be fairly straightforward and at least have him understand. I'm attempting to have him understand, you know?
Donation. Let the money adds up. It can be 5, 15, 20 from 3 different people. Add that up. The goal is $100 tonight. So Cronin gets banned. Thank you.
Move on from that. You give no stats. Me and you agree on stats. So what you're saying is a fake argument
What
here.
stats are you
race.
wanting? I gave you stats, 27 to 1. What other stats would you like? Would
I
you
agree
like the
with
fact
stats.
that 5% of the
Are you
American
listening to me
population
right now?
being
Are
black
you
males
listening
between
to
the
me? I
age
agree.
of 14 and
Yeah,
60
can I read the
commit
stats too?
essentially
You know, this guy
55%
He
of
won't even let me talk. That's very mature. Meanwhile, I can shut my mouth while I get berated. While even to this day, obviously. But back when I was working with Joe, I'd have to just sit through all these people yelling at me, not letting me respond to their questions. And then they're like, why aren't you answering? Why aren't you answering? It's like, well, I'm trying to, but you keep interrupting me. And then there's 5 other people who are arguing with me doing the same thing, not letting me answer, and I'm just waiting. I mean, I'm not going to start to yell over all of you just, you know, to not be heard. I'll wait till you're all done having your little tantrums.
all violent crimes, including rape.
I said I
We
lied.
know about 18,000 women being raped every year. White
See, Dave can pull these facts out because he's just got a good memory. And he's just ignoring them. This is not a conversation with Joe. This is some sort of offense that he feels.
women being raped by black men, but literally 0 black women being raped by white men. These are just coming off my head here now.
You sound great, Joe. Yelling over me, trying to talk over me.
You know, I know math is not a good subject for you, but it doesn't mean that I can't fucking provide you with the math that I've got in
Oh,
my
he's getting triggered about the math comment.
head. Straight up.
You reading stats doesn't mean that I don't
I'm
believe
not
it.
reading stats. These are coming off my head. Plus, there's calls.
Why are you reading stats? I agree with
I'm
you.
not reading stats.
I'm not reading stats. They literally come off my head. Why? Because I read them and I remember them. Is that so difficult for you, Cronin?
What? But you just brought up stats.
You are a psychopath, bro. I'll see you guys later.
I am a psychopath.
I have yet to ever waffle anything into my wall. Ever.
Yet 7 of your co-hosts left you. Yeah.
Oh, there's that. That is a good point, Dave, from the past.
Yeah, I'm the psychopath.
He was wrong, brother.
I never put dicks on your kid's face. Look at this guy. What a pussy. Did you see? And again, I'm going to actually, YR, please leave this up because I'm going to now do Dr. Rose doing the psychological analysis as I always do on the Cronin.
So there it is, people. There that be. We'll say that Skype lines are open if anyone wishes to call in to address what has been talked about so far. Let me just fix this here. Disable that. And yeah, so we'll take a little lull, because I got to catch up with the chat here as well. A lot of stuff been going on. Shout out to Gabe Rodriguez, cooking up a storm. And if you ever make a podcast, Gabe, call it "Cooking Up a Storm." Let's see here. A lot of comments in the chat. 42 viewers. 42. Do we have the tutor here? Do we have a Vikings fan in the chat? I don't see him. Oh, there he is. There he is. I sent him the link. I wasn't sure. Shout out to the 42 Vikings himself. But yeah, glad to see that there's a lot of comments here, a lot of interaction. Got to catch up with it. I just, again, the purpose that I played that for was because it was given to me by a very generous sparrow. And more than anything else, it's why. Why was it published? Well, it's unlisted, but why was it uploaded January 31st, 2022? Literally a week ago. What was the purpose of interspersing those clips together? And, what's the reason? What's the intent or outcome of you having this video? Whether it be you publish it on Patreon, nobody sees it, but some people do. Or you have it ready to release to the public. What exactly were you hoping to do? Because that's the thing. This came prior to your call to my show on Friday night. So, and this is where you're trying to be cool and all that crap. And, many people called you out about this, trying to smooth things over. But, Drew did not tolerate that at all. Called you out on that. But I just don't understand that, days after this is about 5 days after making this, he calls into my show. And, he brings up wrestling. We're all cool, buddy, blah, blah, blah. When I just didn't want to yell. And you can hear my voice, guys. You can hear my fucking voice. Okay. So I'm sure you can understand why. I don't have a mixer, so I can't give myself that booming voice that some people give themselves. But it is what it is. So what I just question is why? The timing. Why now? Why this, again, this series of apparently connected events? Calling out, Drew and Ken, basically, with having this clip available on hand of Drew, of Ken saying that Drew is the fakest person in the community. It makes you question the timing. It makes you question the reason. So why call into one show, act cool, and then have these things, sort of created as of late? This stuff isn't new. We know this, at least with my stuff, the clips he played. That's not new stuff. So he could have had this out earlier. What is the purpose of this entire thing? What is the reasoning behind actually having this, published but unlisted? So, like I said, Skype lines are open, but we have more to go. So, let me open this up here. Where did that go? That can't go here. All right. Actually, when we do this, hold on. I will say this in passing is that, Tony did a stream recently, and he's been doing many streams as of late. So, not too sure which one it was, but he reviewed It's Bullseye, and he sounded very angry, very mad. And then I got this, I saw this video that Bullseye made earlier today, where apparently Tony was sort of apologizing for what he did, and I guess wants to be cool or something like that. Gonna have to go back and listen and hear exactly what Tony was saying, but and a few days ago, and Tony's Tony's also been keeping up with producing content. So, excuse me, there was several things that were said and stuff, and I did hear a portion of that review of Bullseye, and he just sounded extremely bothered by the entire thing. Not the usual oh dudes, let's just do some dabs today, and let's do some trucking and all that. He was really sounding mad, and I know that he was also talking about Ken in a few instances at least. Let me get back to the chat here. So there's that. Simo apparently has been making videos, and we got Ken to rip that apart earlier. was it yesterday morning, or yeah, Saturday morning. I think they were up till at least 6 o'clock, 7 Eastern. So, but I do want to open up this here. So, I mean, if someone can find me the sound, the timestamp, because I can't seem to find it, of when he's reviewing Bullseye, Tony, on his stream, and he's just really mad, blah blah blah. Because I want to just play the difference in voice, because normally he's either happy or he's trying to pretend to be happy. But this one, it was not a happy stream. He was not happy at all, and you could hear. And there's been other. Sorry, I had to stretch. There's been other streams as of late that, a little pot shot here and there at Ken or blah, blah, blah. But I just thought it was comical about how mad Bullseye made him. Like, this guy's got thousands of dollars worth of equipment in front of him, should be happy with what he's got. And I still don't understand what Bullseye did that just got him so angry. But, yeah, it is what it is. Now, Simo, like I said, Simo's been saying some things, and honestly, I haven't. I saw he published videos, but I didn't bother even checking them. And I know that one of them apparently was the one that Ken reviewed the other night, and I think he made it like 46 minutes long or something like that, and like Simo. And it was just like, from what I heard from Ken's review, because that was the best way to go through it. It was just so sad, so fucking sad what this guy was fucking trying to pull, and saying things like, what was it? He's referring to Ken. He appreciates people's support with donations. And Ken was just having a laugh at that. I was laughing at that too, listening to it. And yeah, the guy sounds so jealous. Apparently even my donation screen triggers him too, so I'm gonna have to change that to include, "Hi Simo, hi Simo, hi Simo, hi," because apparently everyone seems to be down with the with the donation screen. But yeah, Simo is not the only scumbag who's out there making videos thinking that he's relevant when he's not, and all we're doing is just laughing at him because, it's just easy. It's easy to do. We take his video, we review it, and we laugh, and we laugh, and then we turn off the computer, and then we go on to our daily lives. But constantly saying, these exaggerations or these just blatant lies. It's just really to make himself feel better for that pathetic life, but that is who he is. And then there's Scunty. Oh, Scunty. David! That's Scunty, because he's gay, get it? So it's like, Armageddon. Oh my God, David! I gotta go. And he's obviously seen encountering some sort of mental roadblock, I guess, or maybe it's another breakdown. But he made a video, and it's called "Review These Nuts Drama Queens," published on February the 5th, so literally yesterday, and he's been going. Now, before we play it from the beginning, I will play a portion of the clip here, and I thought very intriguing. Let's continue. I said, let's continue.
Think about it. I think about it quite often, right? Sick of being used. We all know he's the one with the phone numbers, harass people's phones. He did it to me. Him and his whole crew, Big D, Special Ed, whatever. You guys figure that one out. They use Vikings for malicious shit, do they? Sounds like it's me. Vikings saying you're sick of it, sick of being used. Kind of like they use me, man. Kind of like all these people come to me with the fucking addresses because they know I'm not afraid to put them out there when people are fucking with me. Right? But it was only 3 people. Vikings, Ken, And who was that other one? Wire. People that deserve it, who've done it to me. So, you can say that it was everybody else's fucking shit all you want, Ken. I want you to show that fucking proof. If you are the one or had somebody hack Simo's fucking shit, why are those files the ones deleted? Maybe I'm starting to believe Simo now. Maybe he really was hacked. You know? Like,
maybe you're a paranoid piece of shit, but I hope you people caught that. So you know what? We're going to play it once more. Bonus to the person that can cite the actual law that's being broken.
Bled, whatever. You guys figure that one out. They use Vikings for malicious shit, do they? Sounds like it's me. Vikings saying you're sick of it, sick of being used. Kind of like they use me, man. Kind of like all these people come to me with the fucking addresses because they know I'm not afraid to put them out there when people are fucking with me. Right? But it was only 3 people. Vikings, Ken, and who was that other one? Wire. People that deserve it, who've done it to me. So.
So you have literally just admitted to a cybercrime. You've purposely released this information with the intent to cause harm. Do you understand that? Apparently you don't. But you've just admitted on air that you've done that. It's a violation of YouTube's policies, for one. It's also a violation of North American agreements, the new NAFTA, I can't remember what it's called, Canadian laws, American laws. Are you really this stupid? You literally just admitted that you purposely released their addresses. You think, oh, because they deserve it. Guess what? It's not up to you to decide that. It's up to the law. But if you understood the law, which you don't, you'd understand that basically you just admitted to a felony. Let's play that once more.
Sounds like it's me. Vikings saying you're sick of it, sick of being used. Kind of like they use me, man. Kind of like all these people come to me with the fucking addresses because they know I'm not afraid to put them out there when people are fucking with me. Right? But it was only 3 people. Vikings, Ken, and who was that other one? Wire. People that deserve it, who've done it to me. So.
You don't get to justify that. If a crime gets committed to you, the onus is on you to approach law enforcement, not to take the law into your own hands. The alien mon vigilante.
You can say that it was everybody else's fucking shit all you want, Ken. I want you to show that fucking proof. If you are the one or had somebody.
All right, so we're going to play this from the beginning.
Like anybody can go live and do what these guys do with drama all day long. I'm the one who did it at first. Made the 24-hour streams, did the fucking drama, got tired of
it. It was me first. It was me first.
These people don't get tired of it. They continue it. Well into their adult years.
What, are you a minor or something?
I could easily, if I had the time, actually, not when I'm working, but on a Friday and Saturday, go live for 18 hours a day and review the fuck out of them and pause every 3 seconds and give you guys the actual truth of every lie and every narrative that they twist. But I don't, because it's a waste of time. Like, I could go and review Ken's whole thing right now on Simo and just pick it the fuck apart. Like, just pick it apart to death, bro. Like, I could.
Like I do?
And tell you guys the actual truth, or our side of what he's fucking lying about. It's not enough that Ken got to talk to Joe or have JB and everybody on the call, all the fucking fake friends coming back together again to talk. It wasn't enough, you know.
Well, that's something I forgot to mention is, there was that reunion that YR got on his show. I had been part of the call earlier, and I dropped out, and then they were talking and stuff, and I didn't need to jump in. There was things that had to be discussed between them, and there was, again, what was the purpose of me jumping in? But that was also entertaining to listen to.
You know, Joe going back to the people who bashed him for the last year because the finances and the donators are more important than the narrative, than to be real with yourself. Scott, who came out of rehab and was a good guy to Joe and donated to Joe, was the bad guy again because Ken and all these people who actually bashed him and took his donators away said so. You see how it works? It's disgusting, man. You know? Like, Joe would rather talk to Keith, who he makes fun of all the time for being a pedophile. He'd rather talk to him than me, right? All the stuff that I talked to about Joe behind the scenes,
That's quite jealous of you.
you know, wasn't community related. But when I did tell him about Dave Rose saying, you know, I can't wait for the day Bullfrog gets swatted, Joe did say, oh, send me that clip. And Joe did play it on his show when I told him. Well, he's playing all clips of me. I'm like, why don't you play the clips of Dave Rose? Are you too scared? And then he played it. But we can see what Joe truly is. He always runs back to these people. And it's year after year. The cycle repeats, and Wire's over there with the puppet strings loving it. Like, he's got them all trapped in hell, bro. Over and over again. It's like a movie on rerun. Literally, man. This is year number 6 of this exact same shit again. Every month brings back the same fucking shit. JB and Joe and Ken on a call again for literally the 45th time. Man, you know. But that's not enough for them guys. It's never enough. It's never enough. The last word is not even enough. They have to keep going and expect people not to respond. It's just blows my mind, man. It really does. You know, I don't want to fucking just review all of Ken's shit. I just want to fucking make these videos and say a few things on what I heard. I could play the clip and then fucking review it, but I don't even want to do that, man. I want to get on with my day and go exercise, and, you know, it's my day off. I want to enjoy it. So, I'll just say this, man, because there's a million other things I could say, and I'm sure Simo might review it. What he said, Ken, about Simo, Scott showed it on his screen himself, man. Simo sending him all the shit. I'm going to tell you. Simo and Wire both did send me shit. I also looked up in 411, like Ken stated, public information you can find on the internet. I also did that. Simo sent me Ken's address that I didn't need him to. He sent me fucking Wire's address. Okay? Shid sent me Dave Rose's information. Or not Shid, I'm sorry, Tab.
You've also admitted it was Tab, but again, what information? Because it's clearly not factual. Excuse me. Let's rewind back.
Send me shit. I also looked up in 411, like Ken stated, public information you can find on the internet. I also did that. Simo sent me Ken's address that I didn't need him to. He sent me fucking Wire's address. Okay? Shid sent me Dave Rose's information. Or not Shid, I'm sorry, Tab. And I was talking to Tab last night. All these people that did send me shit know I have the balls to go on air and just fucking, if these people fuck with me, I'll just fucking fuck with you back.
No, you won't. You're a pussy. You've always been a pussy. You're Mark Scunty, as your slave name is, or Scunty McFuckface. And, well, actually, no, Mark Scunty was the prototype that you were modeled after. But, it's just so pathetic here.
To go on air and just fucking, if these people fuck with me, I'll just...
And yes, like I said earlier, we've been waiting for years for information to be released. Then we have these supposed bombshells that are coming out, and they're nothing burgers. They're nothing. And you guys look like fools. So what's this big information? I mean, plus you're also admitting who's been an accessory to a crime, which I perfectly love, because you're literally admitting that these people are part of this.
Just fucking fuck with you back, and I will show your shit. It's not fucking doing it maliciously for no reason.
It's not malicious for no reason. Oh, but the law says you can be malicious for a reason? Are you fucking stupid, you fucking pumpkin-faced fuck? You're a fucking moron. Oh, well, let's hear that again, because it's just so fucking stupid.
And I was talking to Tab last night. All these people that did send me shit know I have the balls to go on air and just fucking, if these people fuck with me, I'll just fucking fuck with you back. And I will show your shit. It's not fucking doing it maliciously for no reason. It's my weapon to fight back against you fucking people.
I remind you that vigilantism is illegal, you stupid fuck. And you've just now admitted to a bunch of crimes and intent to cause harm.
who do it to me and who've started
Who's doing it to you? Who's publishing your address in chats? Who's doing that?
this with me from day one. You know, when Dave said last night, crime, accessory to crime, about me admitting that it was wrong.
Well, you just admitted to several different things here, so I just read a message from a sparrow.
Wrong. Asking for JB's information? No, Dave. Well, what's your excuse for Doxbox 1 and 2?
What's your excuse for naming your Linux computer something that would scare Scott? What's your point in naming it that? Well, because I could have named it anything I fucking wanted.
And getting is that are you like
am I not allowed to have servers or terminals? What's in a name?
admitting to your own criminal activities?
What criminal activities have I admitted? By naming my computer Doxbox 1 and 2?
Accessory to a crime? It's a crime to put someone's grandfather's name in a chat? I don't think so.
I don't think I ever said that.
Because it wasn't JB's address that was put in my chat. His grandfather's name was. And then when I deleted it the next day, that wasn't enough. The troll army had to go look up all my grandparents that were dead and use their obituaries, and it counts. So.
And because they're dead, you can't dox them.
Oh, anyway. I kind of lost my train of thought there, but so many things come back to me all within a fucking conjunction of this shit. What Simo sent me, what Ken said, the way he put that, was completely fucking false. That's all that Simo sent me, was Wire's shit and Ken's shit. And all these Bird Poppin' accounts and Bird West accounts send me all Nikki's diary stuff. Because people come to me, and I am sick of that. And I told that to Tab last night. Keep saying shit. I asked him, I was like, you sure you're not shit last night? But Tab, and you know where I stand. We talked about this, you know. I'm sick of people coming to me, looking for me to fucking, I'm the weapon. Like, I'm sick of being weaponized. I'm the one that's the only one with balls enough to do it. You guys go and find the information. You guys go do it yourself, too. You're not incriminating.
But you're the one who was just saying, I've got the weapon to release all this stuff, and all these people come to me. You can't have it both ways.
Yourselves any. You're just standing up for yourselves against people who threaten you and fucking bully you, harass you, whatever. Slander you, defamation. You know? It's not illegal to find someone's fucking information on 411. You know? But them guys can sit there.
No, it's not illegal. But if you release it with the intent to cause harm, to intimidate, or to harass, which you've done to literally dozens of people, then yes, it is criminal. You keep pretending to live in the world of adults, but you'll never belong to the world of adults. You don't understand the basics of law.
With my aerial view behind them, and everybody in a chat threatening to come kill me. You know, 3 different addresses. My door was always wide open. But anyway, we'll just ignore that. That doesn't exist, man. You're getting sleepy now. You know, so I was sick of that, of being used. Everybody wants to play in behind the scenes and use Scott. Why do you think I pushed so many people away, bro, and stand on my own? Okay? So, shit understood where I was coming from. Or shit, oh my God, Tab understood where I was coming from on that too.
Sounds like he's got shit on his mind.
Everybody had some balls, took accountability.
And yes, Wesley just did enact 1.5 times speed.
For their own shit, we'd have a fucking army. But no one's willing to do that. Now, YR, okay?
It's going a little too fast for my liking. Wesley, down to 1.25 times speed. Resume course.
Is the one who found Vikings information for me, right? He's the one, him and Simo, joint effort. I guess Vikings slipped up and let his Chris Dietrich's name show on his screen. And so they sent me his information. Joint effort. Simo and Wire. You know, Wire's best buddies with him. And someone said Simo wanted to go be his friend the other day or try to...
I also want to say is that this guy's he's blamed me for actually researching Mello. I never even bothered to look into Mello. He's that insignificant, and plus, like, who cares? It's fucking Mello. He never made any threats against me, like, unlike Scott. But he was the one that came to me. He's like, oh, did you know Mello's name is so-and-so? I'm like, I had no fucking idea. He's like, did you know he lived here? I'm like, no, I did not. I thought he lived here. Like, you know, so this guy.
Recruit him? I don't know why the fuck you would do that. You think it's bad what they do to Keith, Simo? Look what Baking Pan did with fucking Bullfrog. I mean, come on. You know, Keith and Bullfrog are not innocent people by any means, but you know what I'm saying. You get the point. But yeah, man, like the way Ken put it, Simo had a big file, folders filled with shit, man. He sent Scott from everybody in the community's name there. If you really focus in on it, no, that's a lie. It's a complete fucking lie. He did not have all this shit on people and sent it to me in a folder. People's names and jobs and workplaces, another lie. And when Ken said White Horse, he knows what he's fucking saying. He knew what he was saying. He's lying about that too. He clearly did it after a rant on Simo. So he knew what he was doing with Simo's workplace. The people that threaten people's workplaces, well, we know who they are. Right, Travis? You cuck? Travis comes on the call yesterday. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, my God, they talk to adult women in a meat locker, man. Oh, I'm this guy doing impressions of me. Trying to control his narrative through the use of comedy again. Well, let me do an impression of you, Travis, okay? Well, it's funny to make fun of fucking Dave's black uncle that fucking molested him. And then Dave went and fucking threatened my job and workplace.
The only one between us who's been molested is you, and it's very clear. I mean, look at how conflicted you were when Tiffany told you lyingly that she was a tranny. And you got so twisted up. You didn't know which way to turn. You were so angry and conflicted. Come on.
Now I'm a cuck today. I'm scared to death of them because I don't need my name in my workplace out there. But I'm the one who made fun of.
You sound very stable, scunt.
The fact that Dave got molested by his black uncle. How do you like that? It's fun.
Yes, many people have observed that as well, Latino Heat. Scott has been running out of breath during his manic talking over these past several days.
Anyway, why are malicious as they come, sitting over there with the puppet strings all day, every day, loving it. He got every one of his, man. And it's fucking hilarious.
And that's why you continue to hang around.
There's a couple of cult leaders in this community, and they got so many of you, and you really are in denial that you're part of it. Fucking amazes me, man. Why do you...
And it's his job to come and rescue everyone from the cult, man.
You guys think we wanted to make merchandise and drama club with all wire sayings and stuff? You guys are fans, man. Fans and followers. Charles Manson fucking cult. Manson family fucking...
You can't stop stalking. You're watching everything, scunt. You can't even go one day, without, watching Ken or myself, and obviously having to do some little damage control.
Community over there. Fucking crazy. But yeah, everything Ken said there, that Simo had all these files and everything, complete lie. Yeah, me and Simo fought and blocked and blah, 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 and I went back to that old account that Simo said got hacked. And it could have. Maybe it did. I'm not saying it didn't. But all those, the addresses were gone. Everything that he sent me were gone, deleted. So I don't know. But, maybe Simo was hacked by Ken and them. Maybe it is Ken and them. Using Vikings Fan. Remember when Vikings Fan did that weird, mysterious, I'm sick of being you stream that Ken questioned him on? Like, what was that about? Like, I'm sick of being everybody's puppet or pitbull or something. Like, it was Vikings complaining. And it was clearly about this community. He went live over Ken this morning. Like, there's clearly a secret vendetta. So, you guys figure that one out. Just saying. Think about it. Think about it. I think about it quite often, right?
Yeah, you're obsessed.
Sick of being used. We all know he's the one with the phone numbers, harass people's phones. He did it to me. Him and his whole crew. Big D, special ed.
Why'd you give your number to them?
Whatever. You guys figure that one out. They use
that.
Vikings for malicious shit, do they? Sounds like it to me. Vikings saying he's sick of it, sick of being used. It's kind of like they use me, man. Kind of like all these people come to me with the fucking addresses because they know I'm not afraid to put them out there when people are fucking with me. Right? But it was only 3 people. Vikings, Ken, and who was that other one? Wire. People that deserve it, who've done it to me. So, you can say that it was everybody else's fucking shit all you want, Ken. I want you to show that fucking proof. If you are the one or had somebody hack Simo's fucking shit, why are those files the ones deleted? Maybe I'm starting to believe Simo now. Maybe he really was hacked.
The paranoia is insane.
Like I said to Joe. Joe said you're 100% right. There is DDoS and hacking go.
No, there's no DDoSing, you dumb fuck. There's no DDoSing. You don't even know what it stands for. I had to explain it to you. You probably still don't remember. You don't understand how the internet works, how protocol works, and how you would actually be able to conduct a DDoS. Needless to say, it would be attacking the actual site itself, which would be a directed denial of service. And it would affect multiple people and basically bring the platform to a halt. When an individual starts to encounter streaming issues, usually it's their ISP having problems. And if an ISP has a DDoS, then multiple people go out. So no, I don't think that this is the case. That you're just imagining things. Because you have no idea about technology, about law, about human ethics and standards.
Going on, and it's that side that makes light of that situation too, using comedy to distract from the truth. Oh my God.
Also, I'm the one who originated that statement.
To really think about this, man, because Ken's the one trying to manipulate the fuck out of Joe again last night. Please don't talk to Scott, please don't talk to him, Joe, please.
When did that happen?
Exposes way too much truth on us. He divided us. Don't you get that? Even though we stole your donators and bash you every day, don't you get it, Scott? You see how he's getting scapegoated again? And these people did it again, just like they got back together for trash talk when Drama Club fucking 45 was going on. It's the same cycle, people. It's a fucking nightmare scenario that we're in here. Wake up. Man. Wire, you say you're on one video with me on Omegle. We did a whole community bit out of the Omegle and chat roulette, Wire. You loved it every day. You loved it, man. Remember the guy that Joe Blown reminded me of last night? The guy beating the fucking tree with the stick and stuff? The stick guy? Like, Wire, stop fucking lying about everything, dude. And then you sit over there with fucking age of consent fucking shit and you're putting your narrative on that and everything. Holy fuck, bro. Like, it's just pathetic. Just fucking pathetic, bro. It's not like I would date a 16-year-old now, dude. I was fucking 22, you fucking psychos. If I thought there was something wrong with it, I wouldn't even have fucking said it. Oh, you like Danielle, but...
No. That's not how it works. If I thought there was something wrong with it, what? If you thought she was retarded, you wouldn't have fucked her. But if she was a healthy 16-year-old, that's perfectly fine with an age difference of 6 years. And now you're talking about Brigoli, he's going to say, oh, well, show us the proof. Well, during the Drama Club days, when she was still 14, I believe, 14, 15, there were many calls where Mars, myself, YR, Davey, witnessed you basically say that, yes, you would fuck her, even at that age. And we were like, at that age? Like, she's, I don't care, blah, blah, blah. That's what you said.
Girl, when she was underage too, man. Oh, it's so wrong to fucking say a girl's pretty. Never ever said I wanted to fuck her. Produce those clips. I might.
It's very convenient also that so many clips have been deleted, and yet the go-to for people like this is just prove it, show the clips, prove it. It's like, but you're quite knowledgeable in knowing that you've deleted a lot of the evidence that would prove us correct. Just because we're not telling you that we have that evidence doesn't mean that, we're going to surprise you or anything, or I should say, let you in on the surprise. But it's just so comical.
I have fucking said it. If she turned 18, it's like, Joe, Scott said he couldn't wait till my daughter turned 18. It was a clear joke, Joe. You know it was a fucking joke. Obviously.
But weren't you just saying about using comedy to deflect from the truth? To carry your own narrative?
You fucking weirdo. I did it because you used to fucking threaten, I hope my mother dies and all that weird shit. Dude, you used to go on about my family all the time. So tit for tat. I'd do something to piss you off. You fucking weirdo, man. Yeah, like that's real. Everything you guys do is a joke, but everything I say is, it's definitely real, man. Yeah, that same old narrative. Fucking psychos, man. You got a handwritten letter from the parents, man. No, never said that either. Just talked to her parents. We were fucking dating. You fucking psychos. God, it's so fucking annoying, man. Anyway, that's the only reason they keep bringing it up. Like to see someone triggered. Oh, we got him now, boys. Oh, we got him with our manipulative lies. Anyway, man. Fucking... Like I said, man, I could sit down, if I had the time, to review all the Dave and Wire streams, man, I wouldn't have the life. I'd be fucking alive until the fucking, I wouldn't sleep. If I had to break down all of their shit and do the Podception podcast, a review within a review, to get my side out there. I wouldn't be able to sleep. I'd have myself drove nuts with every fucking lie. I would. But anyway, just wanted to put that out there.
My God, this guy has been on a tear for the last 3 days. And it's just insane. This was the last video he made 3 hours ago, which I find very comical because, 2 hours prior to that, he made 2 videos. And again, really attacking me and Ken. Actually, I'll play those first, and then I'll go to this one.
I see you for what you really are. Something a lot more evil is responsible. They look at you like you're some circus clown.
About him doing drugs. That is 100% true. Never laughed about him doing drugs, right? But this guy spun it and didn't play those parts, right? Only played parts where I wasn't saying that on, right? Where he could turn around and spin it into, listen to this, that this guy's doing drugs and they're laughing about it. And if this guy dies tomorrow, they'll just laugh about it because they're in their nice warm home and they don't give a fuck about anybody or anything, right? So that's how this piece of shit spun it. Now you can go listen to. Oh no, I'm not letting anybody, what's up the TSS in the chat, what's going on? I'm not letting anybody ruin my day. I'm just fuckers make it that way by saying shit about he's not a man because he doesn't have a job, because he's home taking care of his father. He's home taking care of a sick loved one that he could be getting paid for it. Do you know they pay people, loved ones, to stay at home with their family members now instead of hiring someone else? So if there's a person in the house who doesn't have a job, who can't find a job, and they have a sick loved one, they could actually be paid to take care of them. Okay, it's called a job, asshole. That's why they're offering to pay people for it. Okay, so what Dave is doing is not sitting home unemployed, middle-aged man, 40-something-year-old man, like you guys like to say all the time, 45, 40. Fuck.
They spun it that way. You mean how you spun the Omega video, right, Ken? Or how you spun Dr. Earl Brown into a children's classroom, you and Connie, right? Is that the type of shit you mean? Or how you spun Carlos's words tonight into a threat when you hang around with the guys that literally make the actual threats? Is that what you mean, Ken? Or, But, hey, man, it's too bad Scott didn't die in rehab. I know, because he's out here exposing us again. Fuck me, man. We're not acting like the White House lying leftist liberals at all. No, totally not, guys. Totally not. Sucks when there's a guy like me who sees through all the shit out there, isn't there? But nobody cares about Scotty, bro. Nobody cares about what I have to say. No, nobody at all.
Pobrecito.
Oh, man, it must be real hard work to be a caretaker of somebody when you get to fucking drink all day. That government assistance money's going to good use, eh?
That's hilarious. Drink all day. What, like water? Because I kind of need to hydrate myself. Especially nowadays with all the talking. But, so today, for example, my dad slept quite a lot. And I was out doing groceries, taking care of things around the house, shoveling snow, preparing food for the evening. That doesn't count, right? It's so funny is that people don't even know my schedule or what I do, what time I wake up, what time I go to sleep, and all the fucking effort that I put into this. So it's truly pathetic, and it does. And here's the thing, scunt. I'm so much more superior to you, as you know, which you don't want to admit, but to many others as well, that I don't get heated by this crap. I can easily state the truth, know that you're going to be a retard regardless, have no knowledge on anything, and say whatever you want, but I can easily come on here, not yell, embarrass you, humiliate you, and enrage you. And all you can do is come up with more fantasies. Meanwhile, desperately wanting a place to belong. And the community doesn't want you. And that's what fucking gets you so mad. Let's continue.
Here's some money to be a caretaker, you know. But yeah, just go on YouTube for 18 hours a day, drinking and throwing your voice out.
18 hours a day. And that's factually incorrect. In fact, it's a bald-faced lie. So, you're also conducting yourself, doing some slander here. Plus, also shows that this was made earlier this morning. So, he's watching intently.
Fucking real hard work there. I'm sure the investigation will love to find that out. You know, you want to talk about me being investigated? Here's the thing. I don't give a fuck. Come investigate me. I've said it a million times over. On stream talking to the FBI. Take my phone.
The FBI, again, you're a fucking moron. You really deserve cinder block therapy. I can't wait to frame your obituary. Because the FBI has nothing to do with what happens in Canada. So you're talking about me? Well, let's keep it to the RCMP, the actual ones that have the jurisdiction and authority to do this.
Don't take my computer. I don't hide shit. Unlike Dave.
No, you just delete those videos so nobody can see them. Right. You only just make literally dozens and dozens of fake accounts. Claim that they're alts, but then, like what? Tommy Trailers and Bullfrog Army. You were acting like it wasn't you.
Who actually does and has hidden his own last name on his cadet's uniform.
That's actually false. That photo was basically taken the day that I went and picked up my my uniform. Went to a surplus place, got my boots, got everything really, and yeah, that was like me putting it all on and showing myself. So I hadn't been issued yet my label.
That we found out. Anyway, and try to hide out and white out his license plate. Dave's been hiding his entire life when Scott is the one who's wide open out there.
That's hilarious. He's like, he's trying to hide all this stuff. Meanwhile, this is the type of guy that literally would be looking for this stuff to try to fucking, I don't know, try to screw them over, try to scare them like, I know where you are, I could do this, blah, blah. You're a fucking psycho, scunt. I can't wait to frame your obituary. It's going to be fucking great.
3 different addresses, always getting threats. No one ever comes. These people just threaten and fucking put Scott's address out there like it's candy, and his entire family and his sister and his parents and everything else. So, who's the coward in hiding again?
You. You're the one that went to go live with your parents there in Nova Scotia.
Dave?
You. I just said that.
Who's the one that really needs to be investigated, Dave?
You. Look at all the shit that you've done. The amount of police resources that you've wasted. The people that you've scared in this community. Look at what you did to Little Bex. Look at what you did to Little Bex. And there's, look at how you treated Tiffany, for example. And then, again, to offer me nudes and then say, oh, no, I was just testing Dave to see if he would do it. Dude, you're the one who found Brigoli attractive at 14. You're the one who had sex with a 16-year-old when you were 22. That's fucking disgusting. Yeah, maybe that should be investigated.
Just so everybody's aware, I know that a lot of you have been noticing the suppressed views and streams dropping down to 1 viewer when there's clearly a lot more there. Suppressed likes, suppressed all kinds of shit. That's because the reports that are going on in the community, being under investigation, is suppressing all of the views. And the AI technology is linking in and kicking in because of all the reports of harassment, defamation, bullying, all of that coming in through the grapevines on everybody's behalf, including people reporting me for medical misinfo. So it's happening. It's happening. There's a lot happening. And that's what the suppressed views are, if anybody's wondering. You're welcome. Can't wait for the day Bullfrog gets swatted. Joe did say, oh, send me that.
I never said that.
And Joe did play it on his show when I told him.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say I never said I can't wait for Bullfrog to get swatted. Like what? This is insane. Like, can anyone point out where I even indicated something like that?
I don't remember that at all.
This is just.
Just show me the papers and I'll leave you alone. Yeah, nothing to worry about.
I can't wait till the police bust into your place and just fucking shoot you up. That's not necessarily swatting, you know, but I can see where you're coming from. It is funny, though.
Yeah, nothing to worry about.
I can't wait till the police bust into your place and just fucking shoot you up. It's just gonna be because this is so serious, eh? Listen to how deadpan I am, right? But okay, you know what? Whatever you want, Scunty. Whatever you want. Glorious for the fucking community. Personally, I can't wait till you get fucking shot up. I'm not gonna send anyone to your place, but I personally can't wait till you get fucking shot up or some other. I mean, there's so many different. Cinder block therapy is my preferred, method of therapy. But hey, I mean, you've pissed off enough motorcycle clubs that who knows? I don't know what's going to happen. I just know that I've never done what you've done.
In denial of, Scott, that literally we could have fucking Sith Negan, Bullseye, Schleppy, and many more fucking drop the biggest fucking nukes, not bombs, nukes in the community. We could fund a fucking investigation into you.
And that's right, into you. So, and that's not illegal, scunt. You do realize that technically you could pay $1,000 to try to have a private investigator look into me. So, are you realizing that maybe there's some people here who hold more power than you do, who can have others agree with their motives and their intent, and try to resolve an issue that you won't let die. So, if a little force needs to be utilized by hiring private investigators, well, that might resolve a few things.
You, into Simo, into Shid, into Tony, and literally get every single piece of information that we need. Parents fucking, Tony, we'll find out exactly where parents are buried. So, somebody wants to go desecrate that. We're not condoning that.
Who's the one that needs to be investigated again? As I said, you're not scaring me. You're burying yourself is all you're doing. And all those people that you're saying will fund that. You just fucking incriminated yourselves.
Not at all. There's nothing illegal with having someone investigated. You've committed all these crimes. We have them on record. And you don't stop. You continue your harassment. So I'm not burying anybody. The only thing you're doing with these videos is burying yourself.
Way to go. Way to go.
Coming from the guy that doesn't know any technology or even the law, had to have me explain it to him. Pathetic.
Oh man, it don't get much more dumb than this. Keep drinking the cold medication, eh? Wow.
Oh, pobrecito. Il Sconti. Le duele. So here's another one. Hold on.
I see you for what you really are.
Oh, Dave's always been reasonable.
You were given this opportunity to go the fuck away. You can talk about other people. You can talk about Ken. Ken's gonna fucking go at you all he wants. I don't have to fucking get involved with that. Now, you involved me. You put my name in your mouth. I promise you, this last fucking dance that we're gonna do will be your last. And I can fucking guarantee you that.
Hey, Dave, send him for...
I want to read the description. Remember, those are always full of information. He says, who is the evil empire, Ken? Sorry, who is the evil empire? Ken points the finger at us and has people like Sith Negan now blaming me and Simo and calling our words and families trying to get us hurt by lying. Ken is doing what he accuses Joe of, brainwashing their audience to follow their lies and lead on narratives and accusations. And yet you are not in a cult, right? And it's hashtag Operation Karma, hashtag Karma. Operation Karma. Man, I bet that fucking if you showed up at a Buddhist temple with that attitude, the Buddhist would fucking beat you to death.
Walk into the rubber room with
No,
a one-way ticket.
I'm saying, no. This time around, he goes into a shallow grave. You hear that, skunt? You hear that, skunt? Record it.
Exactly.
This time around.
And I'm just playing the stuff that I have on my channel and stuff as well. So when do you take action there, Skunty?
You will end up in a shallow grave in a place remotely located in Alberta. No one will find you, and most importantly, no one will miss you. Please.
Well, that's basically true.
Please submit this to the Wood Buffalo RCMP. Call the FBI, because apparently they have jurisdiction in Canada. Do what you want. I promise you. You cross this fucking line.
I stand by what I say there. And again, you've shown yourself to be psychotic, Scott. So there's certain things that you clearly don't understand. Little things like nuance.
Line, Skunty. And you are not just done. You're dead. Okay, you want...
Well, I mean, if he kept drinking, because this is when he was still living in Alberta, if he kept drinking the way he was going to die. Absolutely. If he kept fucking, talking shit about these motorcycle clubs, and what was that short guy, the comedian Troy Frazier? Well, that guy made it very clear that he was going to take action as well. And, I was just telling you what was going to happen from your own actions. Everyone has. I mean, people have told you your drinking would lead you to an early grave. So, come on.
Want me to say that again, Skunt, for the recording, for the cops? You are dead.
Minecraft.
Fuck around one more time. Fuck around one more time, Skunt. And I can assure you that your demise will be justified.
Again, you pissed off a lot of people there in Nova Scotia and in Alberta. Just talking big about supposedly being associated with motorcycle clubs hasn't made too many people happy.
No, Dave's always been reasonable. What
you're in denial of, Scott, that literally we could have fucking Sith Negan, Bullseye, Schleppy, and many
played
more
this already.
fucking drop the biggest into SEMO. Parents fucking, Tony, we'll find out exactly where parents are buried.
Yeah.
So,
It's not
if somebody
illegal.
wants to go desecrate that, we're not condoning that.
I was just gonna say I never said I can't wait for
Are you still playing the same clips over and over
Just not
again?
leave you alone. Yeah, nothing to worry about.
I can't wait till the police bust in your
You're
place.
playing this again. Right.
I would beat the living shit out of you.
Well, how about this?
Oh, yes.
Reasonable.
Rather than admitting that I
Can't
sleep.
even make his own fucking commentary. But here's the best part. So he made this video literally just a few hours ago. It's called Love Holds No Conviction. And the thumbnail says, "There are no winners in war." So people brought this to my attention earlier today. And, you wonder, well, what happened recently that he's willing to say this sort of thing? So he plays a sermon from 1 Corinthians 13:5, but we'll just bypass that. I do not proselytize, so I'm not going to force anyone to hear a sermon that they didn't come here to listen to.
First!
And that's just it. Love doesn't hold convictions, hold people to their past. I gotta take accountability. I always do. I always did, and I always will. And as I sit here listening to church sermons while I try to work and make a measly dollar, I'm thinking to myself, I don't like uploading those videos. I don't like doing videos like that on people holding anybody to their past. But they've done it to me, and they continue to do it. And I don't like that. And then I feel like sometimes the only way to win is to fight fire with fire. But when we do that, nobody wins. That's the fucking reality. Nobody wins. Everybody loses. That's the facts.
Well, I've actually won 2 drama wars.
I don't get any enjoyment from doing these videos, exposing people. None. Zero. I really don't. I'm only showing you your own black mirror of what you do to other people and how you are in denial. There's been times where I've been in denial. I've been delusional. I've fixed myself to the point where I'm not drinking and lying and doing all this weird shit anymore. Some of you don't believe that. Some of you think I'm evil. Some of you think the worst of me, man. And you don't see what is true. You only listen to who you follow and listen to their narratives without even getting to talk to me or know me, because you've been told and warned by so many people and listen to their narratives on their clips of me. I took accountability. I fixed my life, you know.
Is that why you're still in Tony's chat using multiple different accounts? Because many of yours have been blocked. Constantly fighting with Shid, with Tony, and you come in with a new account trying to pretend it's not you and, you know, trying to be somewhere. Come on.
Some people don't. The reason why I do this with people like Dave is because he said he'll never apologize for nothing. He's
And what do I owe you an apology for? I did nothing wrong.
unrepentant and relentless
Well, that is true on both accounts, but again, I did nothing wrong.
and unforgiving and all this stuff, man. Like, that's not the way of Jesus or God or anything.
You certainly don't tell me about that. I've read more than you have. You can listen to any sermons you want, believe all this stuff, but unless you actually are into theology, as I am, and history, and have, you know, critical thinking skills and research abilities, you can't talk to me about this topic.
That's not good behavior, character or not. I know what it's like to be a drunk and be delusional and self-empowered and thinking that you're playing a character, but in reality, it's like, what the fuck are you really doing here? You know? It's better.
What the fuck are you still doing here is the bigger question. If you're this bigger man, then you can't move on.
Ways to handle this on all our behalves. I don't want to be doing these videos. Man, I get no enjoyment. I don't. Me showing you yourselves, it's not what I want to be doing for content. I got to take the accountability here to say, I'm sorry to everybody. I don't want to be doing this, man. I don't. It's stupid. I keep allowing people to drag me back in. You want the last word, you just can have the last word. Go ahead, talk about me every day, do your fucking things, whatever, man. I'm done. And I know we always keep saying this. Everybody keeps saying it and going back.
You say it. I don't.
Back on their words, we all do it. But I can't do this, so I'm moving on. And
I believe you were, after this video was made, were in Tony's chat. So clearly you're not moving on.
When I try, they don't move on. They go against their word and drag me back in. I'm only doing...
Yeah, by hostage situation, drag him back in. Yeah. I never said I'd stop.
Doing what I'm saying that they're doing too. By doing that, I'm hurting myself. Their energy is bringing my energy down, which is a win for them. No one wins, see? Like, when they drag me back in, that's a win for them. No matter what I'm doing, I'm back in it. So it's a win for them. They want to see me struggling, hurting, doing drama.
No, we don't want to see you at all.
That they know I don't enjoy doing. Love doesn't act this way. This is not the way. I'm doing all my content that I want to do now because there's a fucking freedom rally against tyrants trying to run and rule this world right now. There's people out there doing the right thing on the streets right now with no work, getting funded by an evil corporation like GoFundMe who just seized the accounts. Now everybody's got to go about it a different way to help each other. So there's a lot of love out there. There's a lot of love out there and unity, and that's what I'm going to be focused in on. That's where I'm putting my energy. Because love will keep giving you a chance as long as you believe in it, and you show love that you are repentant, and that you do want to wash away your sins. You do want to be baptized. I gotta stop leaving and allowing these demons to drag me back into it and drag me down, man. It's not good. Love and unity is the only way to combat any of this. It really is. Joining up and teaming up and doing forces and one army against the other, man, there's no winner in war.
Actually, there's definitive winners in wars. That's how wars work. You've got a winner and you got a loser. One side capitulates and they surrender. That's how war works.
I see people in the chat now because the finger's getting pointed with false allegations in our direction, and things are happening to people's personal lives because of it. Because you're leading a cult of followers that don't have the brain capacity to see the truth, and that's bad. And that ends up bad for everybody. There is no winner in war. Remember that. So when you're saying all this stuff in the chats about the war is on, no one comes out a winner in war. Learn that from our past soldiers, boys. So, love will light the way. I ain't watching. I ain't hate watching nothing no more.
Bullshit.
Have a good day. Happy Sunday, guys. God bless. Peace.
You were saying the same thing previously. Now, this is a great scene from the movie Starship Troopers. The movie was nothing close to the book, which is way better. But this actual scene is from the book. So, listen.
You're using force. And force, my friends, is violence. The supreme authority from which all other authority is derived.
My mother always said violence never solves anything.
Really? I wonder what the city fathers of Hiroshima would say about that. You.
They probably wouldn't say anything. Hiroshima was destroyed.
Correct. Naked force has resolved more issues throughout history than any other factor. The contrary opinion, that violence never solves anything, is wishful thinking at its worst. People who forget that always pay.
And yes, it remains true today as it did when that book was first written in the 50s. Robert Heinlein was a genius. I remind you, Skype lines are open for all those who wish to call in and address what has been spoken of today, or perhaps you still question what I did with Joe Cronin, and you'd like to air your grievances, so come to the diner, call in, air your grievances, tell me how a naughty boy I was, and yes, so forth and so on. A lot of activity in the chat there. 50 viewers. Thank you very much for tuning in. And yes, you can donate if you want. How does that make you feel, Simo? Hi, Shid. Hi, Simo. See, why did it change it? It was supposed to say... Hold on. Aww. I deleted the wrong image. God damn it. Oh, let me fix this. And yeah, hopefully someone might call in while I'm prepping this stuff up here. Some great steak last night. Actually, ended up staying way too late, up way too late, but I ended up having steak at 2 o'clock in the morning while I was watching Derailed News and Podcast. So that was good. It was a good steak. So almost ready to correct my error here, people. So I do apologize. Not sure what I'm going to make tonight. Might make some wings. Not too sure. Maybe I don't know, an omelet. Still have the eggplant that I wanted to make into breaded fried eggplant. But we're just about ready now to complete my correction. Again, I do apologize. I'm sure that some of these freaks are watching. Also, I don't understand, like, Scott's been doing videos on this Carlos guy, and Carlos seems to have been sort of flipping back and forth between who he's supporting and stuff, which is weird because I've never really, bothered the guy or called him out or said anything about him. But yeah, even Scott was doing that, and he's made a lot of videos over the past 3 days, and it obviously shows there's an obsession here. He made several videos on Carlos. This guy is fucking obsessed. The cult of the foul strong arm returns. Where was that one? He's got the reasonable emperor returns description. So he's got me with my lazy eye there.
I feel like, I'm not going to necessarily call out Dave Rose, but I'm going to be a little bit more vocal, and, maybe if I think he has something wrong, I'm going to maybe speak up on it, which I don't think normally people do with Rose a lot. And, I'm going to try that.
I think you should. I think you should. I encourage you to do that. And, Dave Rose has said as much. If you have a problem, fucking tell him. And you don't have to be a fucking asshole or dickhead. You got a fucking issue with him, fucking tell him.
Great exposure there. Great exposure there, Scott.
Yeah.
And
he's always been reasonable about this.
Right.
Like, it's not like he's getting I'm saying this now. Tomorrow he's probably revving up the diner to fucking go in on me. But, Dave's always been reasonable about if you tell him this is what you think X, Y, Z, and if it's not a issue of you're attacking him, telling him he's a kind of piece of shit, going after his family like shit, he's pretty good about it.
Oh, I want to add one thing is that apparently Joe is going to be going live at 5:15, so in 8 minutes. It's called Joe Cronin Live, Samoa Joe Hates Twitter, Anything Goes Live. Interesting. So, perhaps he'll address some things that have been said, or perhaps he'll take calls from people who will confront him on things. You never know. Let's continue.
Okay? When I tell you something, you fucking do it. That applies to you too, both.
Dave's always been reasonable.
That is reasonable. You're going to tell me a drill sergeant is not reasonable, telling his troops to do exactly what he told them to? Oh, he's showing screenshots. Actually, let's do this so you guys can see this sort of thing. Let's go back to here. Enable this. And play it.
Basically, which one of you guys wants to be doxxed first? Should we do it right now on the air or what?
No, Dave, we're not.
What do you mean no? Hold on. What do you fucking mean no? weren't you fucking? Well, just go with it, Dave.
Well, for one day,
Why are
we're
you calling me back? Okay, who wants to be doxxed first? I want to know. Who wants to be doxxed first?
no wait. Listen, this is what happened. Scott removed Bullfrog from the call, right?
I don't give a fuck. No, I don't give a fuck. Why were you calling me when I said no? Answer it, or you will be doxxed.
Because we thought you were still wanting to talk about the video game.
No. Only a fucking moron, stupid fuck. Only a fucking moron would say, "Ugh, this guy said 2 times he doesn't want to talk to us right now," and you call back. "Oh, he was talking about a video game before, but he said 2 times don't talk to him."
You know what also is so great is that Scunty. Just because Bullfrog's channel is gone, at least to my knowledge, and you have all these videos saved and all that, here I am playing them. This video is not going down, so feel free to timestamp it, go back here because it's being reviewed, blah blah blah, and keep points to it. Okay. Unlike you, I'm not scared. I haven't gone on these tears of like a bunch of fucking videos and then you delete them all or you make them private, whatever it is the fuck you do. And then you do it again and then they're gone. And then again and then they're gone. And then your channel's gone. And then it comes back and then it's gone. See, I stand by what I do. Just because you're too stupid to see how I'm doing it or the intention behind it doesn't mean that I don't, and that many other people don't either.
Well,
you want to get doxxed, Jacob? Do you really want? Do you really think that your dad's gonna appreciate that? Do you really think that? Because it's all gonna come back down on you. It's all gonna come back on your head.
Remember, I did get a false police report filed on me by Bullfrog. So, am I to just sit back and allow these people to do these things? Of course not. Of course not. Rescue, like Scunty, being destroyed. So, you know, it's closing in on you. I mean, even Nikki said, and, you know, this was surprising to me too. But Nikki's like, fuck, even Scott, fuck him. My target's on fucking YR. Ooh, baby. Ooh, baby, are you in for fucking some hurt. Some major fucking hurt. The 9 Gods is declaring you on the fucking menu. Ooh, fucking boy. Like, you might as well fucking, like, honestly, you might as well fucking delete your channel and leave YouTube forever. I'm just being honest, okay? That's reasonable and fair considering this guy's mental health state. Is what you're going to see, and I believe this was before he went to rehab, so. Coming from Nikki, you know, I've heard the legends, and I strongly believe, on top of what I will be bringing, you're going to strongly regret ever involving yourself with this community. And you're going to pay. And like I said, you're going to burn.
Is Joe Blonin still around? Bullfrog?
Yeah, what's up?
How you doing, my brother? What do you think about everything?
My brother! My brother!
I mean, Dave Rose has said as much. You know, if you have a problem, fucking tell him. You know, and you don't have to be a fucking asshole or dickhead. You got a fucking issue.
Let me check what the chat's saying. See if anything is coming up here. Nobody want to call in? Thought more people might be interested. It is. We do have 51 viewers, but yeah, a lot of activity in the chat. Let's continue.
With him, fucking tell him. You know.
Yeah.
And
he's always been reasonable about this.
Right.
Like, it's not like he's
donation by the end of the night.
Real quick.
That will not be a donation. No, that's too. It's already too much now.
Every time you play that, I feel less guilty as I imagine every time as I imagine myself slowly closing my fists around his neck. Yeah, nothing illegal to fantasize about killing someone. You do understand that, right? Because you've also actually stated that that's exactly what you want to do. Not fantasize, but that's actually what you want to do. So a big difference there, Skunt. And you don't seem to get it. As I see the life drain from his body.
Wow. Jesus Christ. You know, you once...
Rose wants to commit murder.
Rose wants to commit murder against YR. I mean...
It's
you
called
know.
justifiable homicide.
Well, you know, Rose once did say this about me. Let's all take a look at this. Joe is a moron worth of euthanasia.
Yo, don't feel special. I say that about everybody.
Hey,
I
no
know.
cutting in line, you bastard.
I'm just saying.
Telling him he's a kind of piece of shit going after family like shit. He's pretty good about it. You know,
But like
he
the
takes it a lot
bullfrog
better.
thing.
They just call the group. Fuck with me. Don't fuck with me.
We heard this already, Scott.
Like, this is, I mean, you gotta, like, reel it in here. Understand, I am your God, and come hell or high water, you will bow down to the king. You will bow down to Dave Rose, your God. The Anunnaki prince from Anu.
No, I only bow down to Jesus Christ.
Okay. This is interesting.
I only bow down to the mighty Lord.
The what?
I only bow down to the real Jesus Christ.
Oh, I see.
Like, it's not like he's
Wow, he's just exposing everybody. It's TMZ.
doing it, like, you know. I mean, I'm saying this now. Tomorrow he's probably revving up the diner to fucking go in on me, but, you know.
Oh, have we talked about Nikki tonight at all? No. Well, again, although last I heard he might be doing a show tonight. I don't know for certain, but you know there was talk of him and Mars potentially doing something.
Listen to me tomorrow. Trust me on this one. Because there's going to be a plethora of things to discuss. And
I'm sorry, I really didn't get to the opportunity to do everything that I wanted. You know, those personal responsibilities, you know. But hey.
who knows? Maybe there'll be a return to one thing or another. But stay tuned. Both of you need to be listening. Because both of you will be sort of involved, if you want to say that. But tomorrow, before, and I'm talking perhaps started 1 or 2.
Yeah, the day just went a little too nuts, so I had to fucking hold off on it.
p.m. Tomorrow, we go till we go. Obviously until 9 o'clock, which is, you know, Friday Night Fire. Which I won't go over. You know, I'll be sure to be done with that. But
I did try.
2 to 9 sounds just fine.
Man, you got like 7 hours. Open
It's never a problem for me. I mean, I never even calculate it, but you know what I'm thinking?
Fuck, man.
If like you, 2 o'clock, I could go to 7. I've done it before, and there won't be any problems. But there is so much to discuss, and I think it's definitely important that both of you two not only be listening but consider calling in. So because there's going to be a few things that are going to be revealed, and you know, as just yesterday, people were saying, "Oh, that was a big thing in the community, like it shook ground." Well, you ain't seen nothing yet. You know, let's address all the criticism Dave got, but even more. Let's address things that people didn't even fathom.
Yeah, and people can call in at any point as well today.
But tomorrow is the day.
Nice.
So I'm going to connect with you guys and the trolls that are here as well, because I know those trolls are going to want to be there. But you two want to be there, you want to be listening, and you want to be ready to call in, because I may even call on you.
I'll be ready. I'll be ready, man. I'll be ready all day long.
You're very obsessive there, Scott, watching everything that we do.
This is huge and epic.
Yeah. I ain't missing this, man. I ain't missing this shit. Fuck that.
I'm guessing you heard about Tony compiling clips of me for 6 months, all 32 of them.
Yeah, I heard about that, and that sounds quite obsessive.
Yeah, I'm gonna jump in a schnizawa. Takes about an hour killing children in the shower. Right?
You'll bleed them out.
Oh, so droll. So, let's get back here to this screen. Again, pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. And this is, again, Scunty. But will he end his little video tirade? Or is he just going to try to hang out in Tony's chat and make it look like he's perfectly innocent? You reveal yourself just by your words alone. And I know that gets you and Shid mad, but it's just so easy to see through you guys. And, well, you can pop into those chats all you want, but we know who you are, Scott. Now, back to the chat here. Come on, somebody call in, okay? Like, listen to my voice, okay? It is recovering, but it would be appreciative if somebody called in. We just had 58 viewers. That's awesome. I'm surprised with all these viewers, nobody's calling in. Come on, Cam. Should I pull a YR and just start to fucking like call people at random, add them to a call or something? Oh, there we go. Somebody heeded the call. It is the King of New York, Foulmouth Ken. Thank you so much for giving me a rest on my voice.
Would you steal my sunshine? I know it's not for me. Remember that song?
Yes. If you steal my sunshine.
Baby, me boy.
You know, this fucking show, this miniseries that they have of Tommy Lee and what's her name? Pamela Anderson.
Yeah.
Is fucking great, dude. Number one, the music in the show is great because the music is just what an era that was to grow up in that era.
Yep.
With that music that was out at that point, it was still really good music at that point. You know, you had just a great selection of music at that point. You had grunge, you had rock and roll was still going. You know, you had rap, you had all this great shit, and we're watching this, and what a fucking I highly recommend to check out this show because it's a mini series of his life and when the sex tape came out and all that shit. It's pretty cool. And the girl they got to play Pamela Anderson, I mean, she fucking looks exactly like Pamela. Oh my God, she looks exactly like her when she was young. Yeah.
Well, you know, it's not hard to find a bimbette. So, I mean, come on.
Who the fuck's this?
Who the fuck do you think it is?
Who the fuck is this?
Who the fuck are you?
Is this fucking Little Billy?
Who the fuck are you, huh?
Is this Little Billy?
Yeah, I'll give you a little Billy.
I want to say one thing though. Is that I got these donations when I wasn't actually streaming. So I want to just shout out.
This motherfucker's got people donating while you're not even on. Jesus
I was
Christ.
asleep apparently, and they donated. So shout out to YR, shout out to Six, and I just had the God damn it, there was one more person, and Casey is raw. Thank you guys so much.
Casey is death. Pure death.
So yeah, let's address this whole fucking thing with Scunty.
All right, gotta go.
Why you want to go? You don't want to go. You know you want to say something.
Nah, not really.
That fuck, Simo, another fuck. These are just little rat bastards that they are so fucking jealous and envious of you guys about all the fucking love and support you get, and it eats them from the inside like a fucking cancer. It just eats away at them and eats away at them. And with the fucking comment about Scunty, I don't lose any sleep. Motherfucker, you don't even have the time to sleep because you're so busy thinking about Dave and fucking Ken and Mars Mirror and fucking Nikki Nines and anybody else that's not where you are, where you want to be. Because you want to be over here. You want to be with us. But you're too fucking big of a douchebag, fuckface, retard, drug addict, fucking alcoholic bitch to be a part of this. You don't deserve to be here. You deserve to be ridiculed. When you say, I don't know why people come after me and why they hate me and all that shit, because you deserve it, you fucking bitch. People like you deserve to be treated like fucking the dead leaves off a tree that get shot into the fucking sewers with a hose. And bye-bye to you. Good riddance. I can't stand these fucks. I wish they would just admit it. Stop fucking doing these videos. Just say, how can I fucking be accepted like you guys? I want to be accepted. I don't want to be a douchebag.
But you won't be
Just
accepted
fucking
here.
admit it. But that's the thing. They don't fucking get it. They're never going to be accepted, and they're not going to create a new community with this bullshit. Nobody gives a fuck what they have to say, except for trolls like them. Those are the only ones they're going to fucking have gravitate towards them are assholes. The real people, the good people and shit, they're going to stay right the fuck in this community, laughing our fucking asses off at those stupid little bitches crying and trying to rewrite history, the revisionist fucking history. It makes me laugh. You guys, every show you do, you have out there for anyone to hear. They don't have any fucking clue to that? Come on, seriously? Are they that delusional that every time they do a revisionist history with their fucking little streams, that people can't just listen to the actual stream to find out that it's been manipulated by them and that what they're saying is bullshit? They're fucking retards. They're just sad fucking
Many
retards.
such cases.
Can we just have fun?
I am having fun by talking shit about them. I love it.
So Ken,
I love shitting on people like them.
Ken, what did you think about the video that I played with Cronin? How, the whole try to make me look like a racist and all that?
Yeah, I heard about that. It was an unlisted video or some shit?
Yep.
How'd you get that?
Sparrows are very giving. I appreciate them.
How'd he
Very
get
nice.
it?
Wow.
Dave has his ways. What do you mean, how'd he get it?
Dude, listen, fucking Billy. All right?
I'm the drama whisperer.
I'm going to give you 9 inches of Billy if you keep fucking talking.
Listen, fucking little Billy.
I'm going to smack you across the face with it.
You better calm down, little Bill.
You did a good job, Ken. You did a good job breaking down what Simo had said on his video and stuff. And like the stuff that you did such a great job with that. That was like pure Dave Rose. And like when he was like saying like, oh, like either like I wanted to like I was seeing that Joe was somehow doing better, which I haven't seen, but I'm seeing that Joe's doing better, and instantly I want to drop at the drop of a hat. I want to run off to him like, oh, I'm going to be more successful there. I think you said this that right now, if you want to use these words, and I kind of find them a little cringe, but I am the most popular that I've been in this community. Right.
Yeah, I would think so. Yeah. I think you have the most support you've ever had in this community.
Yeah, that's a better way of putting it. Not popular.
Yeah, even when you were on Joe's show. Like, when you were on Joe's show, let's face it, some nights, you were looked at as like, the bad guy, and it happened frequently on there. And not that I'm saying it was anybody's control to it or it was made to be that way. I'm just saying what the deal was. But I think people have connected with you more on a different level because when you used to be on that shit, you used to just be, in game mode and you would just go. I think hearing you on your own now for the months that we have, I think more people were able to connect with you on a different level than they ever were able to connect with you on, so.
And it's more so because he has the time to collect himself and be more deliberate. And more
explain yourself.
methodical. Yeah.
Yeah, not get yelled over by a bunch of people.
Yeah, there were times where you got into some shit on that show, and then it was spun to look a certain way, and you couldn't explain yourself. Like, hey, this is why, though. This is the reason why it was like that, or this is the reason why I said that. And I mean, listen, you still have your detractors. So do I, though. I mean, everybody's gonna have them, right? So, but I think you've explained yourself more about who you are and what you are. And I think more people have noticed, like, Dave is not a racist guy. He's not this white supremacist guy that, is on the internet. I mean, that is just outlandish that was even said. I mean, all that shit that Simo says is just really.
Like, didn't he say, like, an admitted?
Admitted, yeah.
Yeah, and, meanwhile, we've got fucking Danny MT.
Yeah, I mean, and and you want to say anybody's admitted it? Really, Danny was the one who admitted being racist. You know,
and showed many examples of it.
so you know, it is what it is, man. But like you know, people can tell who's. This is what I can't, and this is what I can't understand sometimes. But it's funny because somebody just explained it to me the right way, and I was like, yeah, I get that. You are right, what you said. But like, how is there even one person out there that would back these people at all? Because even the people that do back them have to know that they're scumbags too. Because if you go along with these people and you go along with the narrative that I and Young Republican were trying to like make fun of Keith that night and hope that he died, not even gave a fuck if the kid died from a drug overdose or
totally
anything.
spun it.
That's the people
you're fucking with his life. It's like,
Yeah,
meanwhile,
even
you
though-
listen to it, it's like you've got Keith who's like you've got you who's like, no, Keith, like this is bad. You think about your mother. You got me like, okay, shit. You gotta fucking you gotta want to stay there. You're gonna have to get rid of that evidence. Apparently now I'm an accessory to a crime, although no crime
I don't
was
know.
done.
Listen,
Ken, wait. Hold on a minute.
Accessory.
Let me-
Wait, I wanted to finish what I was saying.
Go ahead.
The whole point of it is that even the people that support these people know that they're lying. They know they're lying and they're full of shit, right? And my question is, how can you sit there and support somebody that you know is lying to you and is lying about people? They're lying about the people they're fighting with. Do you hear us lying about them? No. We might exaggerate shit. We might, forget certain things and not add certain things in. Yeah, okay, but they're doing way more than that. They're fucking sitting there saying that we honestly were sitting there hoping that this kid died, like we told him to do these drugs, like we made him do these drugs, and like by me not answering his phone call, he's gonna kill himself, and I should be ashamed of myself. Like, you know how ludicrous that is? How can you
to answer your question real quick?
Yeah.
About how these people could be that way, let's give you some examples. Let's say you're in a fight in high school, right? In the middle of the school. What always happens when two kids get into a fight? What do the other kids do? What is it that they start cheering or saying?
Fight.
Remember?
Yeah.
Fight. Why do they do that? Because they want to see shit. They want to instigate shit. Let's take another thing. Remember fucking Jerry Springer? What the fucking people watch that show for? Because they want to see ridiculous shit. They want to fucking start shit. They want things to happen. Those real live, in-person trolls. These motherfuckers that support people like Simo and fucking Joe and whoever the fuck else that do this shit, they know the deal. They know the deal, but they like the fucking fights. They like the drama. They like the bullshit, and they want to stir it up. And that's why they do what they do. They don't want to be a part of a normal fucking happy-go-lucky community. They want to fucking ruin the fun for everybody because it makes them feel like they're having fun by doing so. That's the type of fucking people.
Yeah, I guess so, man. It's it sucks that you got people out there that are like, hey, you know what? If their house gets fucking swatted or somebody gets shot and killed or somebody gets this or that over it, hey, I don't care. It's not me. Fuck it.
Here's another one. You know how the Democrats, they're always shitting on the cops and whatnot, but yet they had their personal fucking security guards. And they got their own cops and shit. You've noticed that, right? But we can't be protected. Oh, no. We're going to take the cops away from you. We're going to take your guns away from you. But what happens when one of them has a family member to get killed or their house gets broken into? Oh, shit. Fucking federal emergency. We got to go ahead. We got to go after those fucking people. We got to do whatever. What's good for them is not good for us. We don't deserve shit. So we don't deserve this community that's going really well and that everybody's enjoying themselves. We don't deserve that because they don't have it. They don't have it. They have the fucking misery and the fucking vile bullshit.
Ken, you notice that several of his videos, he's been using this rhetoric for a little bit now, but this whole like the cult, like, oh, you guys are all in a cult, man.
Yeah, fucking weird, bro.
They don't even know what a cult means, apparently.
That's fucking weird shit, dude. That somebody would say that there's a cult and a cult leader. Like, man, the fucking warpness in the brain is like really eroded badly, and that is like when you start like saying that there's cults involved and this and that, like you're in a fucking just a dark fucking place, man. I'm sorry. And the manic videos and all that, dude. It's just like honestly, it's to the point now where it's come on, man. Like
they're gonna have a heart attack. Simo's gonna have a fucking heart attack running out of breath, and fucking Skunty is gonna just go manic and fucking like pop a blood vessel and just
fucking
start
lying.
taking the
The
drugs.
lying is the worst, bro. The lying and the making up bullshit and the narrative pushing, like, oh, you want to see this person die? You are an accessory to, this. And it's like, what the fuck are you like? Really? That's where you're going with all this? That's where you're going with this shit? Really? That's the game we're playing now? Recruiting people and saying, hey, let's, they're accessories to, look what they did to Keith. They tried to kill him. They wanted him to die. They don't give a fuck about anybody. Like, ha ha ha. Look at him.
Meanwhile, he outed all the accessories that provided him with information that he then utilized for malicious purposes. Oh, I only did it because they made me mad. It's like, but you're not a vigilante, and the law doesn't allow you to do that. And he admitted it. He admitted basically doxing you, YR, and Joe. He admitted on this video.
He said, yeah, he that's his way of getting back at people, that he doxed them, I guess.
No, but
he was proud of it when he said it. He was
and his argument is like, oh, I was justified because they made me mad. It's just like, and again, this guy's so paranoid. He doesn't know who's doing what. So he'll blame somebody for doing something that didn't do it. So you just can't go ahead and go roughshod and start to attack all these people without any evidence.
Well, see, this was my point to Joe when I spoke with him, right? My point was to and I know he knows, but I wasn't sure if he knows the difference or not. And like, for instance, Simo goes and says that we're all like, that day when we were on the phone call with fucking Keith, that we wanted to, we didn't care if he died. We didn't give a fuck. That's what type of people we are, right? And Scott obviously thinks that way too of us, right? And then when Joe made the comment about, sometimes Scott is right, that makes me know right then and there that, obviously Joe was either under influences by Scott or currently is. Either or. I don't know.
In collusion. He's in collusion with him.
Right? So either way, whether he is or isn't, he obviously was listening to what he was telling him. And if these guys are willing to go on air and try to spin you that we wanted Keith to die that day and we didn't even give a fuck and we wanted him, he basically made it sound like we made him do these drugs and then we were trying to hide it, right? Which is fucking crazy if anybody listens to even a minute of that video. And even the video that Simo put out on it shows that we weren't fucking doing anything to Keith. We actually felt like bad for the guy and wanted to fucking help him. I mean, he's doing fucking drugs in this house. It's not normal. And we've begged him to get help and do the right thing, but obviously he's going to do what he wants to do. And what the fuck am I supposed to do at that point? I'm supposed to, I got to answer my call for Keith so he doesn't hurt himself. Like, is that what I should do then, Simo? Like, is that my answer, to answer the call? That, because that's why I asked Keith the question, when did you take these things? Was it after I didn't answer your phone call? Because he said that he was upset nobody answered his call when he called Young, and then when he called me. And that's why I asked him the question, like, did you take these then? Because, like, if you did that and hurt yourself and took these because I didn't answer your call, that's fucked. And you need some help, like, right now, And he said, no, it was before that. So I was like, oh, good. It didn't have to really, had nothing to do with me. And even Keith said that, too.
What project was he doing? I don't understand any of that. He said he was doing it because of a project?
He tried to time his high. That's what he was doing, the guy.
Oh.
Why? But my point is, the whole thing with Joe under influenced by these people. So you could just imagine, right, if they're willing to make that up about us on air and say that we, are accessories to fucking his death, basically, then just think of what they're saying behind the scenes to Joe, or what Scott has said behind the scenes to Joe, not only about me, but about fucking Dave and everyone else over here. Okay, Sith Negan, because trust me, Scott does not like the guy and goes after him all the time in chats and everywhere else, right? Same thing with Cody Maestro and a couple of other donators of Joe's and ours, right? And mine. So obviously, think of what is being said to Joe on a regular basis, because we all know they trade conversation back and forth every once in a while. Even if Joe downplayed it, we saw it with our own eyes. Scott outed it. Scott showed it on his screen.
He did.
And showed the conversations. So Joe can't hide that. Scott put it out there and showed everybody. There's no denying it. It's fact. So, and Joe even admitted it by saying, yes, every once in a while, Scott is right. Okay, well, every once in a while, a guy with a fucking, with the lights out in a room could throw 150,000 darts around the room. Eventually, he's going to hit the fucking board, right? So obviously, Scott's right, maybe once in a while. But my point was, Joe, don't be so influenced by these guys and what they're telling you about us over here being hacks and fucking, doxbox and, all that shit. Okay? You might want to look into that shit before you start pointing the finger. It was my point to make sure that got across to Joe. And I could just imagine what these guys have said, like I said, not only about me and you, but about top tier people all over this community to Joe. I could just imagine. So I was saying, basically, Joe, you want to make things right and you want to do the right thing, not have people warring and going against each other. How about stop being influenced by these people? And if you're not, then don't point the finger our way, because nobody's doing anything to you over here. If anything, we tried to help you, and we don't fucking approach donators and people like that of yours at all. You just go and point the finger at them and say that they wake up one morning and decide, you know what? I don't like Joe no more. I'm going to go over there now. And then they hear you say that, and then they say to themselves, nobody said a word to me. So now I'm actually going to go over there and check these guys out and see how they are. And then they do, and they find out, wow, these guys are fucking not only funny and entertaining, but they know what they're talking about, and they have fucking fun, and they're not liars. And they don't beat around the bush, and they don't fucking tell, sob stories. They just do what they do. And people figure that out, and they see what's what. And like I said a million times, this community is not easily fooled anymore. We're not easy marks. I know certain people have thought that the people in the chats are easy marks, and there's ways around them, and you can tell them they're like sheep in a way, right? And I get all that. They saying all that for years, but it's not like that. Okay, it's not like that. The 85%. They're not the 85%. These people are smart. A lot of people who were asleep 2 years ago, who were in cruise control in life, are now not in cruise control because of what's happened in this world in the last fucking 2 years with COVID and the way that we're getting finger fucked from behind right now, all of us. So a lot of people, their bullshit meters are already almost on red. So, you know what? They're not going to take things fucking sitting down anymore. And a lot of people have fucking stood up to a lot of these motherfuckers, including ourselves. And Dave has fought the fight nonstop on his shit. And like I said the other day, doesn't do it for himself, does it for everyone else and myself and himself. So we're fighting these people off for everyone and ourselves. And they could sit there and play all words against us and make fucking jokes about what we are.
I want to say one thing. The stories I've heard, the people who have like literally come to me in tears about what Scott's done has just galvanized me to say this is the right thing to do. It's what's necessary. When you are called upon and you are the one with those skills, you have to answer the call. It's not about you. It's about the greater good. I didn't do this for the fucking, regalement, the fucking, praise and all that stuff. I did it because it had to be done. And clearly there was nobody else that could do it other than me.
And that's why I said, you know what? Once I started working with like Nick and Mars and you and started becoming cool with a lot of other people that weren't inside that clique on Joe's side when I was with him, it's like I did that on purpose. I did that like because I found people who I fucking know are good people that they've been fed a lot of bullshit about. Like I've heard a lot of bad things about some of these people, but come to find out that they're some of the realest motherfuckers on here, and it's like, and I know we say it a lot. I'll not say it a lot, but people hate when people say it now. Is real finds real, but that it is the truth. The real people find each other.
And they don't have agendas. And they don't have agendas.
Do you notice, though, the fake-ass fucks always find themselves together somewhere, too, right? I mean, think about it. think about it. If you were a fake fuck and you were some lame ass fucking piece of shit that don't give a fuck about anybody or anything, and you're just here to be amused and fuck everybody's life, I don't care about them, I don't give a fuck, and you don't even care if you're being lied to, well, then you'll end up there. You'll be over there in that fucking chat or whatever chat
And we've seen it.
you can fucking crack into, you know? And look at the shit that's said in those chats. And then look at the shit that's said in our chats. And there's a big difference, bro. A big difference. There's people enjoying themselves in one chat and chatting like you really should be. And then you look in the other chat and it's nothing but fucking hate and fucking just lies and hate and lies and hate. You know, and now Scott's going, and now they're saying that the guy Carlos is trying to attack people. It's like, dude, shut the fuck up, bro. The dude Carlos is obviously telling you need to go full force, right? Like Simo used to. And like all these people that push Scott that know in reality, Scott should not be pushed into anything here on the internet, right? And the last time that happened, where did it end him up? In fucking rehab, and it's everything taken from him. And everything taken from him. Those people don't give a fuck about him at all.
Nope.
And he sits there and fucking listens to them and acts like they're supporting him. Yeah, Scott, you should go and fucking, you guys should all come together and fight this war. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's the smart thing to do.
We got to recruit against the cult.
Yeah, go listen to that guy and fight against the cult together, because that's what this is, Scott. This is the cult you have to fight. You need to come together, and you guys need to create an army so you could go fight the good war that Simo has to fight against the cult that exists here in this community, the cult that exists here in the community, right? I hope Joe understands what that fucking is, right? Right? I hope he's not talking to these guys, right? Because they sit there and they're like, oh, Joe, you're not allowed to talk to me. Look, they said you weren't allowed to talk to me. Oh, look, Simo, I got to send Joe stuff. Look, Joe, look, they're saying for you not to talk to me. No, we're not the only ones telling Joe not to speak to you, but his own supporters are telling him not to speak to you fucking losers, because they know it too, that you guys are fucking nothing but trouble and liars and fucking haters.
Hey, Ken, let me ask you something, Ken. When you were, with Joe and doing a show with Joe and stuff, and he used to call you like outside of that, right? And just to talk.
Well, I mean, yes and
or
no.
Either one of you.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, did you ever talk about the shit that went on in the shows or in the community when you guys talked back then?
Not really, dude. No, not much.
I guarantee you this. Nowadays, I guarantee you that Joe probably talks to Skunty. He probably talks to a guy like Simo, and they game plan. I guarantee you.
Well, look, I'll tell you, I don't know if
they do
they're
that kind of shit.
planning, dude. I don't think they're game planning, but they might have at one point. But I'll tell you this. I do think there's an influence on Joe coming from that area, like I said, and I even told Joe when he was on with me. I do think there's an influence coming from that area. He denies it and says, no, there's not. But when you make a comment like, hey, Scott's right about something every once in a while, like, yeah, okay, so obviously you're listening to this guy. So, and that would be the worst guy to listen to in the fucking world or take advice from, either one of these dudes, because they're in no position to give anybody advice on anything. Okay. Then look at what they've showed you about their lives, who they are and what they are. And you're going to take advice from them? I don't think so. Right. So, I'm not saying I'm a guy you should take advice from. I'm just saying, like, those two are giving out advice. I don't think you should listen to it. So if Joe's influenced in any way by those guys, I would hope not. But do I think he's doing what you're saying, like game planning shit to the point where they're together and they're like, hey, we'll do this and then you do that? I mean, I don't think so. But
not to an intensive level. I don't mean like it's a really serious all-out level, but that they're throwing shit back at each other, just talking, not like how you used to talk, just about general shit, but that's all they would talk about.
I accuse Joe of playing the game with these guys, and I think he still is. Yeah, he is. The only time you're not playing the game with these guys is when they're fighting you tooth and nail. Because when you are playing a game with them, they're either praising you or not saying a word about you, right? When you're rolling with these guys and you're telling them, no, I'm not being cool with you. You're not getting what you want out of me. It's not happening. You're not coming on my shit. I have nothing to do with you. You're staying on block. You're not coming into my chats. You have nothing to do with me or anything that I do. All right. If people want to be cool with you outside of what I do, that's fine. I don't give a fuck who's friends with who. Like, go be friends with him if you want. You'll learn the hard way.
They don't believe when you say that shit. I guarantee you, they don't believe when you say that.
dude, most people want to figure it out on their own. I was like that too. And you know what? I didn't take the warnings, and I found out on my own who's who. So if they need to figure it out, I'm sure they will, bro, because just being friends with Scott for a week or two, and you'll know what's what. So I don't have to explain. So people got to figure it out on their own then. And some people could take the warnings and understand that there's been blood, sweat, and tears put behind those warnings, and people have paid dearly in some lives, in real life, to tell you these warnings with these people, because they don't play fair, man. This is not fair. You know, this guy Simo saying we want this kid to die and we could give two fucks about him, and you know, we're hackers, and we're, you know, it's outlandish, man. It's fucking outlandish shit. It really is. Meanwhile, there's no fucking photos or screenshots or any proof of us giving information of someone else's out like Simo did. Simo gave everybody's names and shit to Scott, or whatever Scott wants to clarify what he gave him. The bottom line is he gave out information for malicious purposes to Scott and kept pushing Scott to go that route, just like other people are pushing Scott to go that route now. They're utilizing this guy who's sick to keep going. And the minute he hears any type of support, what he thinks is support, he's going to do it. And he's going to keep going. And they would love to see him go off the edge. They would love to see him get in trouble and take one of us out, go off the edge. You think they would give a fuck about him if he was laying in fucking jail? You think he'd give a fuck if he was in a jail because he killed Ken? They'd laugh. They'd love it. They don't give a fuck about him. Come on.
They don't. And that's the sad thing, that he just doesn't get it.
They don't care about each other, bro. They don't care about each other. That's the problem. They try to say we don't, right? And we all hate each other secretly, and we all fight with each other secretly. But the bottom line is we actually do care, because we ask about each other's families and lives frequently when we talk to each other. It's not about you. It's not about Simo or Scott. I bet you 90% not about you at all. But I bet you the other way, it's 90% about us when you guys talk. Guarantee that. Guarantee that.
You heard what he was saying in his video about the fact that he's tired of people using him and shit. It's like he realizes it, but he still fucking allows it.
Yeah, but yet Simo will sit there and say that I'm utilizing and brainwashing fucking Dave. And Dave is just fighting these guys off because, you know, he has to do it for us. You know, they haven't fucking tried to belittle him or make him seem like some kind of monster or some kind of racist. Nah, he's got no dog in the fight. Yeah. He's just doing it because he's brainwashed. He's converted. You know?
And all these constant comments about my dad, it's just like, why don't you just attack me? But, you know, even the descriptions, like, according to Scott, I'm on government assistance, which I'm not. And I'm stealing all this money, which I'm not. I'm trying to hide things, which I'm not. Like, look, Ken raises a good point, is that I was attacked first. I was attacked first, and he can claim whatever he wants. We've got all the evidence that proves otherwise. But I didn't instigate this shit at all.
Well, I mean, I indicated, but, you know, hey, it's part of playing along and going back at them. But I'll tell you what, from over here, you ain't going to get us just becoming friends with somebody because it suits our war that we have, or, you know, become friends with somebody again, or let them on a show because, now we control them and we don't have to fucking fight with them now, and they can fight for us and love us like they used to, right? Because I bet you at some point, I could have easily, or Dave right now, or a lot of people could just snap their fingers and become friends with one of these guys again if they really wanted to play the game. I bet you. And they would do it because that's who they are. That's who they are. They'd be willing to become best friends with the devil if it helped them. Okay? That's what these guys do day in and day out. That's how some people end up on Joe's shit, because he gives in and says, all right, I don't want to fight RP all night. Come on the show. Or I don't want to fight Danny MT and tell me he's going to knife me in the neck. Just come on to the show. No, you got to put your fucking foot down after a while, man.
Block him, yeah. Just block him.
You got to protect the house, man. If you don't, you're not a man. You know, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. You don't protect the people who protect you and the people who are on your show and in the chats and all that, then you know what? You're half-assing it, bro. You're half-assing it. If I have any power at all to protect the people or to make it better for them or to make it, you know, more of a better place to be, I'm going to do it. And if that means fucking going at these guys and putting and then spreading the truth every time I can, then I'll fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. I ain't breaking no laws. I've only used words.
Have you come up with a name for your cult? I have a suggestion, maybe like the foul mouth ones.
The word is mightier than the pen.
Huh? How's that for a name for your cult?
Words
The
are
foul
mightier
mouth
than a
ones.
sword, bro. Words are mightier than a sword, bro. And all I've used are words. Oh, the whole time I've been on this shit, I've never used anything but words. That's it. Words. But anyway,
There's always,
I gotta help
yeah.
Shannon get shit done real quick. I'm gonna be listening, but I'll stop back in when I get done with that shit.
All right.
I'm
what
listening.
do you think, Dave?
I agree with what both of you guys have been saying, and it's evident that this guy has, basically lost it again, and that
He really needs help. A real help.
I don't think he's ever going to get the help he needs.
His parents need to fucking step up. They need to. I wish somebody can get in touch with them and let them fucking see his videos, like expose these things to them, so they can see and put him in a fucking straitjacket or whatever they have to do and get him real help.
When he supposedly went to rehab, we, just didn't even bring him up. I purposely made an intent to not mention him, and we tried to carry on. It was a very enjoyable time because we didn't have to deal with that shit, and we weren't really talking drama. We were just doing our stuff. But he came back and started attacking us again, and it's fully within our right to respond. But we didn't want anything to do with that at all, and we proved it.
You notice though, whenever they look to start something like a respark or what have you, whatever you would like to call it, how like the one time the key word they were always using was trolls, troll this, troll that, and whatever. Now it's the cult shit. It's like they always fucking want to come up with something to use as a focal point, or you know what I mean? It's hard for me to explain, but they always want to come up with a key phrase, a key word to describe us, describe what's going on, to work off of. And it's so fucking predictable. It's so stupid. And they think that it really bothers us, especially the use of a cult, not even fucking understanding what it means apparently, or they just don't give a fuck and they just keep throwing shit out there hoping it'll stick. I mean, what the fuck? Really? Come up with better shit. And don't fucking manipulate audio and video, because you guys have the fucking original. And anybody can verify that they're full of shit. They're so stupid. They just don't fucking get it. They should just give up, especially Simo. The way he sounds. What the fuck was he choking on? A cock? Fucking half this damn thing that he was doing with the coughing all the time? What the fuck was that? I don't even think that was a nervous tick. I think he's actually fucking on the verge of a coronary or some shit.
You never know. You never know.
Because, wow. What did he do? Like 20-something times that shit? That coughing? At least? I couldn't believe that shit. But, yeah, I mean, you guys, I appreciate, and I know a lot of people appreciate what you guys are doing by not just fucking taking it and pointing out the fucking hypocrisy and the fallacy that these guys just keep shooting out, And I will say this, when Joe called in that day, I was pissed off because I knew right then and there that motherfucker had a motive to call in, because he just doesn't call in out of the blue after all the shit that's been said and whatever. I know in my heart he called in because he was thinking, I'm going to look like the good guy, that I'm reaching out because I'm losing fucking donations, I'm losing money, and maybe if I do this shit, I'm going to get people to come back to donate. And I'll put on a little act or whatever for however long I can fucking stand to do so, and then back to the old Joe. I really believe that's what the fuck his plans are. And no one is going to tell me otherwise, because I've seen his bullshit. I used to be a fan of his. I used to love watching his shit, and then progressively saw how it deteriorated, how he became what he became, and I left because of that shit. Somebody like that does not just fucking change unless they have a truly life-altering experience, which makes them look into themselves and who the fuck they are and how they've been. And that's the only way somebody like that's gonna fucking turn his shit around. I don't care what the fuck he says. I don't care what anybody else says. That he's trying. He's really trying to come back and fit and work it out. No, he's not. Bullshit.
It does seem that there was a reason for it, some sort of intent. So.
I'm hoping you guys stick to your guns and don't fall for the shit, because I'm telling you, don't let them sucker you in. Don't let them sucker you in, because I just have a feeling it's.
You got to tell me that.
I'm just saying, man, because you guys have a heart. Even you have a heart like him.
No,
You might not want
I've
to
already
admit it.
stated this. Like again, if people don't understand at this point, I can't do much about it. But you know, I'm retired from my sailing championships, and you know, I just can't work with Joe. He's not professional enough. His time management skills are terrible. You know, it's not possible. You know, and there's always some sort of conflict, and you know, the issues that he still hasn't addressed with, you know, the race debate and all that, you know, are based on issues and stuff that he doesn't change. The pandering, for example.
The denial that he showed you, that he had for everything he said, it was just incredible. It's on fucking video.
And for years.
Everything he denied, it's on video. What do you mean? I didn't say that. You're twisting that, Dave.
You're making that up.
No,
you're just
you're
making
it up,
that
Dave.
up.
I'm like, so what the fuck I saw never happened? It was a fantasy. I was asleep and shit and woke up from a dream.
5-6 years that I worked with him didn't happen.
I couldn't believe the shit coming out of his fucking mouth. Yet I can, because that's just who he is. But my God, everything is on fucking video or audio. And no matter how many times you want to delete something, YouTube can re-upload it or bring it back, because it's on their servers. It never goes away. Never. That's what these guys don't get. They can hide shit. They can get rid of it. YouTube can find it. If there's a situation that arises, like, oh, somebody getting harmed or committing suicide over some shit, here's a fucking subpoena. I want these shows to be turned over to me for a lawsuit. And they have to do it. They have to do it. So these motherfuckers better watch what they say and watch what they do. Deleting doesn't protect you at all. Not one bit. Not even Facebook, not even anything that you've tweeted. None of that shit goes away. It's all on servers.
Yeah, or somebody got a screenshot. So.
Yeah, that's why I don't do social media. Because I don't ever want to make a mistake for some reason and say some shit that causes somebody to harm or that incriminates me in any way, because I can't protect myself from that. Once it's out there in the ether, out there, that's it. You're fucked. That's why a lot of these jobs, I don't know. I heard some shit, because I haven't worked on this so long. I've been retired for so long, but I heard that there was a point where prospective employers could go ahead and hire some sort of, you know, company to do the background checks and shit. And that would also include social media. And they'd find shit on people partying and fucking being drunk, videos of them, you know, groping and fucking showing their dick or whatever the fuck, and they would not get hired because they saw this shit. You think, with them thinking that because they deleted it, it would never be found. And yet, lo and behold, they found it. I don't know if they can still do that now. I have no idea. The way this world is nowadays, they probably don't allow it. But yeah, I mean, man, and nothing you guys have done. You've not done anything wrong. And in the one instance where you said the word that is so offensive, oh my God, you said it because you were kind of triggered into it. You were kind of pushed into it. But you didn't fucking really mean it in a malicious manner. You were pissed off, and you felt that was the way to strike back at that time. What do you fucking do? You've never done it before, after that, from what I remember. And you don't hate black people.
I
know
wasn't
that
triggered.
shit.
I was tired of the belligerence. So I thought I'd play to his level.
But you were pushed into it. Honestly, you were pushed into it.
Well, yeah, Joe Cronin set that up. That's the point. Is
Yeah.
Joe Cronin can't fight for himself, so he needed somebody so that Dave couldn't say any naughty words, and Dave didn't comply.
You know, and if you hated black people, the black people that we have in our community would know it, and they wouldn't be around, and they
Well,
wouldn't be
not
talking
according
to
to
you and
Joe,
liking you.
because Joe's a liberal and he
No,
thinks
Joe
black
can go
people are
fuck himself.
stupid, so they can't even fucking get voter ID or get their way to the DMV or anything like that. So that's how Joe views the blacks.
It would be so funny if you did a tribunal on him just on a race debate shit with all his denials, and just pull up all the
I
videos
mean,
of when
there's
he
years
actually
and
said the
years
shit
of
he
this
said.
stuff. If I had actually the time to dedicate to go through, just
You would fuck
literally,
him.
dozens of videos where I was there on the call when he would do
Yeah.
this shit, and I would make issue of it, and he'd sort of dismiss it, and then there'd be some sort of argument or something like that. But
You would get him good. I know you would.
but
If
it
you
was
did, if
it
you
was
put that
always
time in.
there. It's consistent.
Yeah. He just. I mean, I used to, that's around the time where I just got tired of him when he would do that shit, where he'd be doing that fence setting crap. I'm like, fucking choose one side or the other. Stop this shit. It's
By the way,
annoying.
where did Ken say he went?
To help out his Shannon to do some stuff, and he said he'd be right back
All
as
right,
quick
that's
as he
what
could.
I thought I heard that, but I wanted to confirm.
Yeah.
I'm just managing other stuff, messages and shit. So
I mean, I would have more respect for him if he just chose a side.
yes,
You want to be a fucking suck up to pander and all that shit? Then stay there and do that. Don't go play both sides because you're afraid you're gonna lose donations on both sides. Be fucking true to yourself. Be true to whatever the fuck you believe in, and just stick with it. Stop this fence sitting shit. Because you're gonna sit on a fence, then put a fucking giant black dildo there and sit on it while you're fucking sitting on the fence. Seriously, because it's just bullshit. I hated fucking hearing it back and forth. 1 minute he's fucking saying this shit, 15 minutes later he just switched sides.
yeah.
Like the whole thing with the Black Lives Matter shit that he was talking about. Oh, but they need to be able to do that and to be an organization so they can get it out there how they're oppressed and shit. And then when somebody said something about that they're looting and they're rioting and they're burning down shit in their own neighborhoods. Well, I don't really necessarily agree with that, but you'd be okay if they were doing that in white neighborhoods, wouldn't you, Joe? That would be all right for you. It's not so much that they're looting and shit. You didn't like the fact that maybe they're, because they were looting in their own neighborhood. Because then they would be called out, and then you'd be called out for supporting them.
Years and years of hypocrisy have I witnessed.
Yeah. Yeah, and just for him to say it never happened.
Or in that clip that he played, oh, I'm just making things up.
Yeah. I'm like, what the fuck, dude? Oh, it's almost it's laughable. It really is. It's you can't help but laugh. That is fucking lies. You can't help it because it's so pathetic. And then his wife, remember he made that fucking comment that his wife thinks he's a Republican already or a conservative? Get the fuck out of here. That motherfucker. If he's a conservative,
Yeah,
then I'm
well,
a fucking communist.
she's quite leftist. So anybody who's not close to her is far right. That's just how the leftists work today. So, Joe's more of a centrist libertarian, not an independent Joe. Sorry, you don't even know your own fucking politics. But more of a centrist libertarian with left-leaning tendencies. And because that's still far to the right from his wife, who is a literal Marxist, she calls him, a Trump supporter, all that stuff. But that's the mindset and the mentality of people on the left, is that even if you're slightly away from them, now you're far right.
I'm wondering what she thinks about Biden. I really wonder what she thinks about the guy and how he's running this country. I would love to know. Because I have a feeling she probably thinks it's all good. You know, except for the fact that he hasn't done a few of the things that what those four crackpot women call themselves, the squad. Except for the fact that he hasn't done the things that those four want done. Maybe she wouldn't be too happy because she's probably one of them. She's just like that. Fucking. Oh, man. But it's. You guys, you deal with so much bullshit. I know me, I wouldn't be as composed as the two of you when you do your shows and stuff, going back at them. I would probably be more belligerent and more toxic as far as my responses and shit. So I definitely appreciate how you're able to keep yourself level-headed when dealing with this shit. And that's why, like I said, I know you don't want to keep doing it, but I can't see anybody else being able to fucking do the way you're doing it. That's like with that song. That's why I said nobody can do it better. I don't see anybody being able to do better than you because of the fact you keep your shit together, but you still get your point across, and you still make them look like the fucking assholes that they are.
I appreciate that. That
You
is
know?
the intent that I do.
And that's why I hope you don't stop until they fucking just learn they're done. That there's nothing they can do, nothing they can say that will ever have any true effect on any of us. And to just give up. And I hope you continue to fucking... I know it's kind of stressful and shit on you, probably at some points, you know, but we need you, man. We need you to freaking do it.
Well, I can just go hard and just do video after video, or I can do one video and wait days, and people still want to tune in. But most importantly, the trolls are desperate to know what's next.
And they're lurking. They're lurking.
Of course, and they're
in your
you know,
fucking
they've got
video right
bated
now.
breath waiting for me to release my next video, and I could go days and days, and it's happened in the past. Where like Scott was like, "Come on, man, just release the datum on." So, you know. But Skype lines do remain open for all those that are listening right now, the 50 viewers. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and make the heart of a troll die just a little bit more. Well, actually, they don't have hearts, so just make them die a little bit.
I can see Tony's in the chat, just not typing, so he doesn't get discovered in the list.
I don't know. I think he's still live. Is he?
And
Yeah, he's still
Simo's-
live. I doubt he's watching me. He's got 3 viewers. I think.
You don't think he has you on the side? Somewhere on that screen on the side, pulled up somewhere, so you can see the chat?
Doubt it. I honestly do doubt it.
Mm.
I did see that he did. You know, he's all down. Like, I find it funny because we got Nikki J in the chat here. Says he's farming, but Nikki J started off, you know, doing videos with the trucking game. I don't remember what it's called, but he's got the
American
wheel,
Truck
the
Simulator,
stick-
probably.
Yeah, something like that. And yeah, I always said that game looked fucking awesome. It looked very cool. I've played games
It
like
is.
that in the arcade, which is great because you know you sit in an actual fucking seat and it rumbles, all that shit. But Tony apparently bought himself all these new gadgets and toys and stuff, screens and all this shit. Like, looks like a hefty amount of money. And he's got the wheel, like you know, the steering wheel that actually has force feedback. Because you can see where like you try to hold it and it's like you know shaking and shit. You gotta keep it straight and all that. Personally, I think that's fucking awesome. Like, you know, if you have the ability to invest in that and that's what you enjoy, fucking awesome. I remember when that shit first came out, the force feedback stuff, and it just made games so different. And yeah, the trucking game looks great. And if that's what Tony wants to do, awesome. You can't be dismissing my Kerbals for your fucking driving, you know.
That game is way harder. Kerbals.
It is actually, it is definitely way harder than the trucking game. But hey,
I couldn't play
I'd
Kerbals.
play the
I'd
trucking
probably
game
crash
too,
my
though.
rocket every time. I'd probably crash a rocket into the ground. It wouldn't even take off with my luck.
No,
'Cause
but
that
you know,
game
he
looks
brought it
really,
up.
really
He brought it up in the past. It's like, oh, you don't have no content. You can do drama because you know, like Kerbals doesn't count. Blah blah blah. And it's just like, well, if you're driving a rig and you're having fun doing it, yeah, I guess that counts. But then so does my rocket experiments into space and all that sort of stuff. So
Those rigs, if you get a real good rig for the driving games, those things go for like $5,000, man. And I'm not even talking the seat one. I'm talking
I've
like
seen. Oh, the price. The sky's the limit when it comes.
it's
I've seen
insane,
$20,000 rigs and stuff like that are set up for playing these sorts of games specifically. It's not like,
know
oh,
what you
okay,
would
this
love?
is just a bunch of setup. No, this is made specifically for this game.
Look up the ones for F1 racing.
Oh,
The video
I'm
game.
well aware
Oh
of
my
this stuff.
God. Holy fuck.
I'd never do it and
Those are
invest in it
something.
myself, but if that's what you
Oh my
enjoy and
God.
that's your money.
And a lot of those racers, like NASCAR and shit, they have those kind of rigs for home when they're just at home just to fucking play their NASCAR game or the fucking Formula One. It's amazing, dude. And the whole thing that have like the surround sound speaker and that kind of bubble-ish chair that they have, it's just crazy. And then the fucking 3 monitor setup, so it's like a giant widescreen so they can see the whole field of
Yeah,
view.
if I could afford that sort of thing, what I'd be doing is setting up something for Kerbals, something for a space program, and people have done that, like a flight simulator, but like for some sort of spacecraft. So you get all the fucking switches everywhere. It's tied into the game and all that. Microcontrollers fucking handling things, tablets and that acting as fucking displays, and yeah, some people have really gone hardcore, just like you're explaining with the racing stuff. Same with the space stuff. People will build themselves a fucking actual space cockpit and play these sorts of games.
Yeah. The most I've ever done was like a flight stick. That's it. A fucking Precision Pro flight stick. That was the only thing I've ever invested in. And
Which
even
one?
I have a Precision Pro too. So it's got like 6 buttons and then the trigger, and on the trigger that has the HOTAS. And then on either side of the HOTAS it has 2 other buttons. So I don't know, there's 6, 7, 8.
Now, Travis in the
About
chat
9
says,
buttons.
has anyone seen that Ken's Dirty Filthy Bong Water account ever since I called it out as Scott? I thought it was a shot mark. Yet we don't see it anymore. Weird how that works. Very weird. It's, in fact, even bizarre.
Chinese intelligence at work?
What's that?
I said Chinese intelligence at work.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the Secret Service?
That's right. CCP.
Travis found it out. He routed it out. Got rid of the spy. Oh man, what the hell's going on as far as news on your end with the truckers at the Canadian border? Anything new?
They remain blocking COTS. That's the place. That's the name of the town where the border, transfer is, and they remain blocking it. And the police apparently negotiated in bad faith, and they're going to try to clear shit. And there's problems, and people are like, there's more truckers coming in to try to support, the truckers that are already there. There's people, there's videos of cowboys just hundreds of people riding horses, riding along the highway and stuff, on the highway. So this is, and they're still there in Ottawa. There was over this weekend there was protests in Toronto, and they. The piece of shit mayor did try to preempt it and block places off and stuff, but they still had their protests, and there's going to be more protests and stuff. Quebec's having more protests, so it's really wearing things down. They got GoFundMe to steal the money, and they were going to donate to some other charity or something. And then there was so much backlash that they're giving automatic refunds with what they don't normally do. But people are actually taking claim with this, where they're if you dispute it, it was misused, there's a minimum of $15 charge on PayPal. Sorry, on GoFundMe. to pay for that that allegation. There's people saying I'm gonna do a class action lawsuit on behalf of everyone that donated to this, and now is seeing that they want to fucking block it. So there's
Was the money for the truckers?
yeah,
To support
that's right.
them?
They
Yeah.
got $11 million, I believe, and the mayor, or no, the police of Ottawa, I believe, or the mayor of Ottawa. No, it was the mayor of Ottawa first that said, "Oh, we've got to shut this down. You can't let them take their money." So what happens is they shut it down. And then the police of Ottawa come out and say, "Oh, we really appreciate it for sites like GoFundMe to stop taking donations from these people and stuff." And it was like the biggest violation of fucking
Yeah. What a bunch of motherfuckers,
legality
man.
and such.
You know who was behind that ultimately, though? Old blackface Macron.
Well, there's a
that's what
lot
the
more
fuck.
forces in the background there that are running, but
Has he come to the area to visit to show himself?
well, no, they're all
and
getting
to-
pressure from above. But the prime minister is not the
But he doesn't have the
highest one.
balls to
He's
go
just
there?
a puppet.
Yeah.
He's got
Oh,
people directing him.
I feel so bad for these truckers, man, because that is bullshit. They are getting the raw deal. Why the fuck should they have to
Yeah,
get the
but they're
shot?
getting a lot of support. People are bringing in supplies and stuff, and tow trucks are refusing to tow them. And on top of that, I can't remember which politician said that they would call in the military, and that's obviously a violation of several laws. And it makes them look so bad to say, "Oh, the police can't handle this," and like these people are supposedly violent, although nothing's happened. So we got to call in the military to remove them. It's like you're basically admitting that you are a fucking dictator, and people will see right through it as they have.
If they call in the military, then don't be too surprised that right behind them comes these giant bulldozers and they try to fucking forcibly move those trucks off the road.
Well,
Don't
so
be too
far,
surprised.
the Minister of Defense is, I believe it was no, it wasn't the Minister of Defense, but it was the Chief of Defense, I believe, of Canada, who came out and said, we will not be acting on this. We have not been asked to do so. So, we'll see what
Yeah.
happens there, because that could always be a lie.
I mean, we're finding it hard to find certain things here, but I still support what they're doing because it's bullshit. Somebody had to take a stand, and I'm glad that somebody, like an actual group of people with pull, because they do have pull, because without them, shit's not getting out, obviously. So I'm glad they're taking a stand, and I'm hoping that they not only break your government's bullshit mandates, but here in the States, that our truckers that are doing it in Mexico border and the Canadian border are also going to break this fuck.
There's going to be a demonstration by Americans soon to go to Washington as a truck convoy. So that should be coming up in this month.
I got 2 truckers here that they're just parked in their driveway, and they haven't been out for at least a month now. They've just been there parked, and they're like, "I can't fucking do anything because I don't want to get involved in that shit. I don't want the shop." I feel bad for them too because they have bills to pay, but you got to make a choice. Either you fucking do it or you don't, and that's it. I don't know what I would do if I was in their shoes. I mean, right now I've not ever gotten any of the shots. I've not gotten a shot. But I also know that if I'm going to go into a high traffic area, I'll go ahead. I'll put on a face mask. I'll put something on and what have you. Not because I'm worried about I'll get sick, but just to, give people some sense of comfort as far as myself. Because
you mean to reinforce their psychosis?
Yeah. Not because I think it works or anything like that, just because I want them to feel comfortable and not have a conniption because somebody just doesn't happen to have a mask on. Yeah, exactly.
I think it was Drew who said the other day is what happens when all these mandates are lifted and people don't have to wear masks. There's going to be a large number of people who have been so brainwashed they're going to freak out from the idea of not having to wear a mask.
And they're still going to win. And they're still going to bitch about the ones that aren't. Yeah. It's coming. It is coming because if you can see, the cases are dropping more and more. So it's coming. We will get to that point where it's going to be, if anything, like the flu. That there'll be, however many people get the flu now per year, there'll be how many people get COVID per year. Same shit. And it's just something we'll live with for the rest of our lives. And it's just bullshit that the motherfucker that sponsored it all, that initiated it all, that's telling us how to fucking deal with it, is out scot-free making money off of books and appearances and whatever the fuck, and getting paid by the taxpayers because he's got a government job. I think it's bullshit. That motherfucker should be in jail. Fauci, you know what I'm talking about, Fauci.
Yeah.
Yeah, that motherfucker should be in jail. I mean, they've exposed the emails with him saying, "Don't worry about it. I'll make sure that the propaganda that dispels everything as far as it coming from Wuhan gets dealt with." Him fucking saying it in emails. And what happens to him? Nothing. Nothing. But we can read the fucking proof in his own writing. And it's verified that it came from his fucking computer. But, oh well. Fuck it. Oh, man. Hey, I was going to ask you because we were talking about food in chat. Going myself, I believe Tiffany was also mentioning. Why don't, if you do another Too Many Chefs, we talk about Spanish foods, delicacies, do a show on that and
Because I
describing
can
what they
only
are.
speak about Argentinian food.
Oh, I mean, I'll
would
come
need
on with
people-
you. Maybe somebody else.
Well, I
And I can talk about Puerto
would
Rican.
need other Latinos to be able to come and talk about what foods they're
Yeah, that's what I'm
experienced
saying.
with. Just because I might have tried it one time doesn't mean I know all the things about it.
Has the goon come on the phone ever, or the Skype calls, or no? I don't know. Have you, Goon? If you're still around?
I think he has.
Because I'll call in and I'll talk about Puerto Rican food. And I believe he's Colombian.
Why don't you say Puerto Rico? It's not Puerto
Rican.
Rico.
I know, but I say it an American way. I know. Puerto Rico, I know.
Puerto Rico.
Even though I'm a New Yorican.
I've also, here's a gripe I have. I'm gonna say this.
Yeah.
I very much dislike going to a restaurant, and they try to tell me the pronunciation of dulce de leche. Like, yeah, this is Argentinian caramel. It's dulce de leche. No.
Dulce de leche.
No.
They said that shit.
It's insulting. And I've tried to
They've
tell them,
actually said
I'm
that?
like, I was born in that country. This stuff literally flows in my blood. Okay, dulce de leche literally is, and yes, it's common in Chile and Uruguay también, or two. That's what two
Even in
means. People
Mexico.
también. Well, yeah, but it's not exactly the way it's made in those countries. But you still have, it could be condensed milk or whatever that's made into this amazing caramel, which is very different from North American caramel. But for these literally white bread fucking waiters and waitresses to tell me how it's pronounced, no, I won't tolerate
How
that.
they say it again? How did they say it again?
They'd say dulce de leche. And I'd be like, that's not how it goes. And here, let me explain it to you. Well, how do you know that? Well, I was born in that country. Literally, that is my first language. And then they continue saying it. It's like, did you not listen to what I just told you? I mean, it's insulting, really. It really is insulting that not only do they have the opportunity to learn from somebody who knows what they're talking about, but they're white bread. They don't know cultures outside fucking literally North America. So they're gonna, they're just gonna accept whatever they're told.
Yeah.
Won't even question it. And when they're provided with that info, they're like, no, I'll just keep doing it my way. The hell you weren't. The hell you won't.
Yeah, especially if somebody speaks Spanish is trying to help you fucking pronounce it correctly. How hard is it to learn or to pick it up? I mean, shit, I would think you'd be thankful to fucking know how to pronounce it correctly. But you're right. There's people that are just like, fuck it. I'm going to say
The
it the way I
goon,
want to say it.
Also representing the Latino caucus here. He says, worse is tortillas. Now, I've never personally encountered anybody that said that, but I do know that that's common in America. They say, oh, I want some tortillas.
What about quesadillas?
Quesadillas.
Instead of
The quesadillas.
Yeah, instead of quesadilla. Oh, man. Or chicharrón instead of saying chicharrón. Chicharrón? Chicharrón? I'm like, fucking chicharrón, man. Chicharrón. What's your opinion about flan? Do you like flan?
Not really, but I've eaten it before. I can eat it. It's a big thing in Argentina, but it's just not my thing.
Wow, I'm surprised you don't like it.
I don't.
Or I forgot what they call the rice pudding.
Ugh.
You don't like rice pudding?
Oh God, no. Oh
With
God,
canela?
no.
Oh my God! Oh,
I can't
so
remember
good.
what. Yeah, there was the arroz, algo de arroz.
I forgot what they call it in Spanish.
It's not puré de arroz. I don't remember.
Maybe go knows or Tiff. Somebody.
I do not like rice pudding at all, at all. And raisins was like extra
Oh no,
torture.
not with raisins. Not with raisins. No, just.
Oh, but have
rice
you
pudding,
not
whatever.
seen that people do that?
Yes.
They put raisins.
And I will not eat that. Tortilla? I don't know if it's tortilla. That doesn't sound familiar.
I could do too many chefs on Argentinian foods, but I can't talk about pupusas. I love pupusas, but I certainly don't know much about
That might be
them at
arroz
all,
con leche.
other than how good they are.
I think Goon's right. Arroz con leche. That's just simply that.
Arroz con leche. That's right. That's right. The Goon knows. And
Hey,
oh
Goon,
God,
let
did
me
I
ask
hate
you.
that? Did I hate that so much?
I want to ask Goon this question. There's a snack, a delicacy kind of thing that Colombians do, and I'm assuming you are Colombian. It's like it's a pastry shell that you put peas and ground beef in, and you close it like a triangle, and you fry it. If you're familiar with that, what the hell is that called? Because I've had it.
Samosa?
I don't know if that's what he's talking. Is it a pupusa?
No, pupusas are circular.
Like
They're oh so good.
like a fritter? Pupusa like fritters or no?
I guess. Yeah, they're made from potatoes and yuca. They got stuff inside.
Yuca.
It's not really a fritter per se.
I like papa relleno. I love that. You take basically like a mashed potato and put meat in it and stuff, and then bread it and then fry it as a ball, and salt in the inside. Oh, that's good stuff. We had and I don't know if in Canada they have them, but in New York, like in the Bronx and stuff, they have corner stores, and we call them cuchi frito. But they're bodegas. But we call them cuchi frito because of the fact that they cook stuff. They can make mofongo. They make pasteles. They make papa relleno, and it could be with carne de huey, or ground beef, or chicken. And so they make all these different things, but we call it cuchi frito because of the fact that cuchi for like cocina or cochina, and then frito because most of it's fried stuff. So that's why we call it that.
Now I'm gonna transition here very cheaply without paying too much attention to an image that I'll be posting. Now this is called it's a postre, but it's not actually the one that I wanted. My apologies. Let's try to get that. It looks like the old snack here, but give me a second. If I can. Yeah, there we go. See, these aren't the pack. There we go. These aren't the packages really that I grew up with. But let's just do this here. Now, this what I'm going to be showing to people. I find myself very conflicted because of the fact that I might even kill somebody to eat this stuff. And yes, it is that good. And it also strikes with nostalgia when it comes to me. And yeah, this is a little dessert that's common in Argentina. It's an Argentinian brand. So let me just do this here.
I assume that slides out of the cup. Like you can just slide it right out in the hole.
No, it's just you open the cup up and you eat it. But okay, so this is the actual one.
Oh, okay.
Now it's called shimmy, or shimi, if you want to pronounce it in the proper Spanish. And it used to be owned by Nestle, but now it's owned by a company called Sancor. And it is based in Argentina. It is unique to them. But you've got, for example, this one that has dulce de leche in it. You've got like pure chocolate, vanilla mixed with dulce de leche, strawberry, and it's not just the nostalgia. It's just my mom went to Argentina a few years ago, and like she was like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Shimmy. I need shimmy," and it had been literally probably okay. So what am I thinking here? I'd say probably close to 38 years since I had tried it. Because again, I left Argentina when I was 2. So, and it was something that just impacted me so much that it was just something that I just couldn't forget the flavor of because it was that good. And if you ever get anything that's imported from the Southern Hemisphere, like Argentina and stuff, you will taste a difference in the amount of or the lack thereof of processed materials and all that. So it's much fresher.
Yeah, it's fresher.
And thankfully, they sold this at the airport when my mom, went back, so it was as fresh as it could be. And it's only like 12 hours or something to get from Buenos Aires to Toronto. But it was.
You don't have Latin groceries there in Canada?
Yeah, but dude, like to get this, you just don't get shimmy here in Canada. Okay, you just don't get shimmy. This is something like you need to it's a Jason Bourne type operation where you got to drop into Argentina from a plane, pick this up and then get out of the country. It's next to impossible to get this stuff imported because again, the shelf life is a lot different from North American crap because that fucking, has so much preservatives.
Yeah.
But this stuff is just so goddamn good. I don't know what I would. You know how they say, "What would you do for a Klondike?" I don't even know what the fuck I do for a shimmy.
Maybe you should contact them. They still exist and fucking say you'll do a commercial.
They do, and they keep making them.
I'll be your representative for commercials in the United States as long as you send me a lifetime supply of shimmy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, maybe I can pull something off like that, but I need to have access to an airfield where we can be constantly taking in 747, sized imports of this stuff, because I'd be going through half of it myself. So,
do you have something? I don't know if you're familiar with Manta. Are you familiar with Mantas or no?
What is that?
Are you know what it is?
No.
It's basically like candy beer. It's a non-alcoholic beer, but
Candy
kids were
beer.
always drinking it.
And what is candy beer?
Fake beer, but it's sweet. Manta. I don't know. Look up Manta. Just look up Manta, like Goya Manta.
Hold on. Goya Manta.
Which is a company brand, and then Manta.
Malta or Manta?
Manta. Malta.
Oh, Malta. Malta.
Yeah.
Como el país. Oh, the drink.
Yeah.
Is that what you're referring to? Oh,
Have you ever
okay.
had that?
Yeah, it's a very malty drink.
Yeah.
I've tried Canadian, well, stuff that's here in Canada that's like that. Zero alcohol, but it's very malty and not my thing.
When I was a kid, my mom used to give me at least one long neck one a day because for some reason back then, I don't know if still now, but back then, Puerto Rican women thought that manta would build a kid up as far as physically and stuff because of the malt and whatever. And sometimes they would put either an egg in the baby formula or they would put manta in the baby formula to fatten them up.
I've heard of that. So I'm going to put up an image right now of the new style versus the, and again, it eventually was sold off to this Sancor company. So Nestle owned it for quite some time, and these are old photos. But the one that I'm familiar with is the one on the right. That's what I had when I was 2 years old or under, and eating that stuff in Argentina.
Hey, Rodriguez is in chat.
Leche, chocolate con dulce de leche, un postre de shimi. Tan rico, tan delicioso.
There's somebody that don't know about Latin cuisine. Gabe Rodriguez. Too many chefs.
Well, actually, yeah. I don't know if you ever watched the interview I did with him. I recommend you do watch it. Great replay value. But he talked about his goal of making going on his own and running a food truck and infusing several different types of Latin American cuisine. And that's to me, it's inspiring, and the guy's gung ho for it. He definitely knows his food, whether it be North American, French, because he got actual training, or Latin American. So he's well prepped to succeed in that. I want to go back to the chat here because a lot of people are addressing me. The Goon says, if you want weird, look at Migao. It's very bizarre, like Joe Cronin bizarre. Weird. I'm gonna have to look it up. The Goon says, speaking of Nestle, have you ever heard of Milo? Yeah, it's like chocolate. It's the chocolate drink. It's like Nesquik.
Yeah.
But it's like Ovaltine, I guess, because it's got extra stuff. Blah 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 blah. Gabe
That's
says,
good.
"Hey Dave, when are you gonna do Too Many Chefs again? Hopefully soon. Donations do help with that. But yeah, I lost I didn't lose my voice, but my voice got quite hoarse over the past few days, and a lot of drama to keep up with, and lost track of the drama because there's so much. There's just a lot of stuff that's been going on. Gabe. Yes, Will Tactics. It is the eternal question: what it's in it. The Goon says, I doubt most people know migallo. It's a cereal bowl filled with hot coffee. Cut up arepa or whole saltines, half a teaspoon of butter, and quesito.
Oh.
So I'm going to...
All mixed up?
I'm going to actually just look the image up myself to see if I can...
Oh, God. That
show
sounds
something here. Migallo tube? Can you confirm if that's what it's supposed to be, migallo tube? Because I've got also a very ugly photo of a bowl with stuff inside that looks gross. But
He said it's a cereal bowl, so it must be the bowl one. Oh, that's so
I don't know if I'll... I don't even know if these are the right ones. I need you to send me a link to this stuff, because what I'm looking at right now, it says, Como hacer pan migao in Colacao. Honestly, it just looks sick. It looks gross.
It does, that's what I'm saying.
I just don't know. Are you looking at photos of this stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know
That's
whether or not
nasty
this is
looking
what he's
shit,
talking
man.
about, or
I'm
if
thinking
maybe
that's what
I'm
he said
missing
because it
something.
looks like a bowl. And he said it's a bowl. So I'm assuming that's it. Yeah.
So Gabe Rodriguez is asking where he can donate. If you look at the pinned comment, you've got my PayPal link there, d.r.b@live.ca. You got Eric James Alpha. Welcome. He says, best 3 things to come out of Canada are Dave Rose, Nicole Arbor, and maple syrup. Oh, no. You can't say that. Because technically I didn't even come out of Canada either. I kind of moved here. But Goon says, coffee with milk. Coffee with milk? Like, but why am I not finding what he's referring to? Añadir la leche caliente. Oh, no, this is the instructions of, I guess, making this. But the people are eating it with a spoon. That doesn't look like. Somebody's got to clarify this stuff. And this is why it's, this is why I can't do a fucking show on Latin American food, Latino eat, unless I'm just talking about stuff I know. Because there's shit like this. It's like, am I looking at the right thing? Is this what he's referring to? Because it matches the name, but it doesn't match what he's describing. And, I couldn't do that. I'd need a Latino round table, So Puerto Rico, you would explain, your stuff. Maybe I think the Goons in Texas. London. I can't remember, but there's a lot of people out there that have different backgrounds in Latin America, and they just know their food and stuff. I mean, Jacob RP knows his Colombian food.
What the fuck? Is this it? I think there might be a video of how to make it. Let me see. I'll put on a mute in a minute because in case it pops up. Nope. All just some kind of rap.
I'm good with
dude
that, Bry
showed up.
guy. I don't take offense. Nikki, after all, is a legal Canadian, despite what Skunt has said. He's like, he's an illegal. It wasn't just. It wasn't just Scott. There was somebody else. Somebody else who was saying that Nikki was an illegal in Canada.
Could it have been Danny and
Dave? Yes. Yes, good memory. Excellent. And how hilarious that was. Oh, he's there illegally. He was born there. Canada and America have this sort of agreement where you can have dual citizenship. So, yeah. Did you think about that one, you commie Soviet bastard? Oh, now Gabe Rodriguez is bringing up. Have you tried arroz con leche? It's delicious. No, stop it. No, I don't like that at all.
Dave loves it.
It triggers me.
He's a closet lover of arroz con leche.
Oh, God, no.
As long as it has canela on it, he's happy.
I can't. It's like soupy and it's.
What if they put whiskey in it? Would that make it better for you?
No. I'll just drink the whiskey. I mean, like I was already traumatized by the way that my parents made. Well, it was mostly my dad who made it this way, which is why it was so terrible. But it was the rice came out overdone and soupy, very similar to this stuff. So again, just the thought, I go through PTSD, imagining being served more rice that's been done improperly and. I don't want to fucking.
I have an aversion to Spanish rice because my mom used to make it so often. I just got tired of eating it. So yellow rice for me is the one that gets me. Unless it's Mexican yellow rice.
I hate yellow rice as well. And I'm not a big fan of adobo either. Again, I'm basically this is a therapy session now because now I'm, explaining that I was traumatized as a kid with all this stuff that I hate. That's the only because when you go to a restaurant, somebody else makes it for you, it's like holy shit, this is a food that I would never even consider making, but you actually make it the way it should have been. So therefore, I realized that was child abuse.
I make, for seasoning, I make my own mojo and my own sofrito.
Of course. I always, the same thing with me, sauces and such, to me, they have to be custom. I don't like taking from pre-made stuff. And what always just blows my mind is some recipes on the internet like, you want to make barbecue sauce? Well, go out and buy container of this barbecue sauce and then mix it with this other stuff. It's like, but doesn't that defeat the whole purpose? I want to make my own barbecue sauce. I want to buy one to mix in to add more stuff to and say, oh, I just upgraded it. No, I want to make this shit.
Yeah, I always believed that. Well, I'll make like 2 containers of sofrito and I'll freeze one.
Don't worry, Gabe. It's not you. I've been traumatized as a kid with rice. Rice and pasta were never made appropriately, and as such, to this day, I have I wake up in cold shivers and cold sweats, and have flashbacks to those foods. I don't blame you at all.
Oh, then that means you don't like paella.
No, paella I do like.
But there's rice.
No, but it's mixed in with egg, potato, rabbit, seafood. It's
camouflaged.
Look, I got traumatized by the fact that a simple bowl of rice couldn't be made properly. Okay? See, that mixing rice with other things, and plus nobody in my family ever made me paella. I've eaten paella out in restaurants, and obviously they know what they're doing, and they also know how to cook rice. So I never had to worry about that. Nor was again, I'd order Chinese food, or I'd go to a Chinese restaurant.
And
I
you
didn't
ate the
worry
Chinese
about the
rice?
rice there. The rice was awesome. I just knew that the way they made it at home was disgusting.
So you will eat rice, just not your parents' rice.
Well,
that's what you're saying.
Well, my dad's rice, I'd say. It's my dad who never could make rice. My mom could make very fluffy rice, but my dad could never make it, and it was just, just like the pasta, overdone and just gloopy and. But hey, as a kid, you don't know anything different.
When mommy made rice, you wouldn't eat it either, so you wouldn't make your dad feel bad?
What's that?
I said, were you the good son that wouldn't eat your mother's rice when she made it because you don't want to make your dad feel bad?
No.
Because his rice
No,
sucked?
that's not at all.
Or you ate her rice?
I ate whatever was presented to me. I didn't have an
So
option.
you ate it anyway.
Okay? In my house, you ate what was presented in front of you, and you better be able to see your face in that plate afterwards. Because if not, that's what's going to be waiting for you the next morning.
I was a spoiled motherfucker, man. If I didn't like something, my mom would make me something else. Fuck that shit.
That was only my grandma.
I'll starve. My mom would be like, eat it. Nope, I'm going to my room. See ya. And then she'd make me something else and bring it to me just to make sure I didn't starve. I took advantage of that shit. Dude, I'm the only boy and the baby. So, double whammy.
So I remind people Skype lines remain open. 6:50 p.m. Eastern Time. And Drew, I believe, will be going live at 9 o'clock tonight. So there's some stuff to watch. I don't know if Nikki Nines and Mars Mirror will be going live tonight. There was rumor that they might. So I'm still waiting word about that.
I take it you're a coffee guy or no?
Yes.
Okay, what's your favorite kind of coffee? And I'm talking about country-wise. Any, different one. What would be your favorite if you had other types, like French or whatever?
I'm fine with Colombian. Costa Rican, that's perfectly fine too. Yeah, I'm not like a big, coffee connoisseur, one of these fucking, man bun faggots. I like a nice, bold, strong coffee taste. And I do like even things like Lebanese or Turkish coffee with
I have yet to get to try it, and I hear it's good.
It's good.
Like the Turkish
it's like an
coffee.
espresso, but it's just, made a little bit different.
I gotta find a place that serves authentic, because I have a few Vietnamese restaurants here that they make French coffee. Oh my god, it's so good. French roast. Oh fuck, that's perfect right after eating.
French coffee, I'm not too big on. Too much milk, but I do like Middle Eastern coffees and such. Again, Lebanese, Turkish. Syrian. It's all basically the same thing. And, very similar to an espresso, but the water that they use is different. And, it's just a very good experience.
Have you ever had red bean ice cream?
I have not, actually.
It's actually really good. I thought I was going to freak out and it was going to taste like shit, but it's really good. It's sweet. It's not like you would think like red beans. It's just, and it has the beans in it and stuff, but oh my God, it's so good. I was surprised. And now I got that from a Vietnamese restaurant. That's one of their desserts.
Sounds good.
Oh, it was delicious, dude. The woman was laughing at me because I'm looking at it and I'm looking at her and I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. And she's laughing her ass off. She's like, just shut up and try it. So I tried it. She's like, well, what do you think? I said, it's actually really good. She goes, I know. She's like, Americans are always afraid of new shit. Coolest freaking old lady that I've ever met, as far as like, restaurateurs. She was hilarious. And I always go back to the restaurant because they're such really cool people.
So the goon sent me a description of migallo, but the thing is, though, no, that's a description of how to make it. It's not, and he sent it to me directly, but it's not a description of what it is. It just describes on how to make it, dude. I'm not going to read that entire fucking recipe. Let's see here.
Look at her Gmail, blood diamonds and slave coffee.
So yeah, quite a few people in the chat, but nobody else calling. And Foulmouth Cam, I thought you were going to call back. What's going on, Cam?
I'm wondering if he's eating now after all that. Good, man. If you got Skype, call in, dude. Don't be afraid. Somos Latinos.
Well, I would like if somebody would call in because, my voice is kind of strange.
Happened to you?
And I do have to make dinner. I do want to try to push as long as I can to at least segue to Drew's show. I don't know if Mars or Nikki are doing one, but I'd be more than willing to promote it. But yeah, I mean,
did your voice get fucked up from getting a cold or something, or
no? Just doing
so
many
streams. A screaming attack?
Just so many streams.
I was like, damn. When I heard you yesterday, you sounded like you were going to go out at any minute with your voice.
Yeah, but things came up, so I couldn't really do that. But I'm just holding myself back, keeping myself strong for when I might need to do that.
I'm fine. I've had that going. Yeah, it's good. Red bean paste buns. They're good. Especially when you get them hot. I love all kinds of food, man. Every nationality has something I love. I mean, and then there's, exceptions like Indian food. I cannot eat curry. Oh my God, no thank you. That kills me. And I won't eat Italian food. I will not eat fucking calamari. Hell to the no. You know what my mom and dad did to me when I was a kid? To fuck with me? Because this is how they are. They made squid or an octopus, right? So they had a big ass cast iron like pot to boil it in. But before that, the O-rings that are on the legs, you gotta like scrape them off or peel them off some shit because you don't want to cook them. So my dad's doing that shit and he's putting it in the fucking bag that Cheerios come out of, and then he puts it in the fucking Cheerios box. He's like, "Where do you think Cheerios comes from?" Telling me that shit. I'm like 5 fucking years old, getting me to believe that fucking Cheerios are octopus suction things. That's the kind of shit they used to do to me. They even used to tell me, I don't know if you've ever heard of a store called Corvettes. It's like Sears, or it was like Sears and Montgomery Wards and stuff like that. They used to tell me when I was a kid that they found me next to one of the garbage disposal bins, that somebody had abandoned me, and they found me and took me in. So they used to say that shit, and one day I said, "Oh, if that's the case, then fuck it, I'm leaving. I'm going back to Corvettes." So I took a little luggage bag, And I started packing my shit in it. And I got my coat on and shit, and I'm heading for the front door. And my mom and dad are like, "Where the fuck you going?" I said, "Well, you said it came from Corvettes, and I'm apparently not appreciated here, so I'm going back there then." And that shut that shit up real quick.
All right. Well, doesn't looks like anyone's calling in. And yeah, I mean, I'm hungry. Need to make some dinner. It's again trying to hold off as long as possible because I sometimes listen to Drew while I'm making dinner and stuff. But yeah, doesn't look like we're gonna get any callers tonight other than yourself and Ken. Thank you for calling in earlier. So yeah, I guess we're just gonna wrap it up and await Drew or somebody else to do a stream. And yeah, I guess that's the end of that. So Latino Heat, thank you so much for joining us. I'm sure we'll see you around somewhere in the community. And yeah, thank you all for joining us here tonight. I am Devious Dave Rose. We did talk for quite some time, 3 hours and 43 minutes. And a lot of information released, and we'll see where things go. But on that note, clearly the drama diner is not closed, Simo. And as always, we'll see you next time.